for Mechanicsburg Wildcat football, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, live on Go Mechanicsburg. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow Wildcat Athletics at Go Mechanicsburg on YouTube, available on all smart devices. Wildcat football live on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group, Charity Kastner RSR Realtors, Your Neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Lawnscapes Inc., Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, Your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care, Westshire Decks servicing all of Central PA, the Wildcat Foundation, and Wolf Brewing Company. Now, let's check in with Ben Shad for this week's edition of Foundation Facts with the Wildcat Foundation.
Hello, Wildcat fans, and thanks for tuning in for this varsity contest on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. Tonight's broadcast is presented by 11 Oaks Farm in Newville. We'll get you out to the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth in just a bit. Right now, it's time for our halftime segment, as always presented by the Wildcat Foundation. And this is Foundation Facts, and today I am joined by Rachel Connell. Rachel, thank you so much.
Sure, my pleasure.
So give us a little bit of your background and your connection to the district.
Sure. So this is my 19th year of teaching, but just my 6th at Mechanicsburg. I came right in the middle of COVID, so that was really an interesting time to start. Things have gotten lots better since then. I am an elementary art teacher, so I spend one day at the Kindergarten Academy with about half of our students there. And the rest of my time is split between Broad Street and Northside Elementary Schools, where I teach all of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd graders. So we have a chaotic, wonderful, good time.
And that's probably the best way to describe the elementary level. So give us a little bit of insight onto your program that the foundation is funding.
Sure. So first I want to ask you what your art class was like when you were a kid. If you had art, I know not everybody did.
I did have art, and we did all sorts of stuff. There was the basics of like pencil tracing and then tracing back with a marker, which I didn't have good fine motor skills, so that was kind of a challenge for me. The watercolors, the usual stuff.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we do here. I always tell the kids it's kind of like a buffet. We're trying to sample everything so we know what we want to come back to. I also really enjoy food, so that's always a great conversation. We make that connection right off the bat. I think, in the traditional art teaching kind of approach, typically the art teacher holds up a project and then everybody tries to replicate that in some way using the materials, probably of the teacher's choice. And we don't do that anymore here at Mechanicsburg. Our 1st through 3rd graders use what is called a choice-based approach. Specifically, it's a research-backed pedagogy called Teaching for Artistic Behavior, or TAB. And essentially, we're trying to focus on 3 things. The student is the artist. This is their studio. And we're trying to answer the question of what do artists do? And in a nutshell, artists choose what they want to work on, and they choose the tools that they think will best solve that problem. So our art studios are set up in centers. We have a drawing center with all the drawing tools you can imagine, including Sharpies, which a lot of them aren't allowed to use at home. So that's very exciting. We have a painting center, a collage center. Those are the big ones. Throughout the year, as students become comfortable and familiar with those centers, we then open others. And so through the Wildcat Foundation, I was able to purchase materials for our very exciting and new architecture center. And this is something I've been excited about since I was a kid, architecture. Building is something that kids love to do before they're even able to really communicate that they love to build and knock things down, typically. And so in using the Architecture Center, my hope is to really bridge the gap between 2D and 3D and a lot of the engineering principles that go into making that leap. So we have some really, really cool different materials and tools that I'm very excited to get the kids using.
Wow. And to architecture at the elementary level, like that is astounding to me, because in my lifetime, at least in my experience, that was something that maybe I had some guys, some friends of mine in high school that would take as kind of an extracurricular, as kind of a build off, or maybe it was just a unit in their art class. And then obviously in college, it becomes a much greater thing, but you don't think about that being introduced at the elementary level. So how exactly does that work when you take something as, at least on the surface level, seems so complex at architecture and you give it to the elementary level?
Yeah, I mean, this is new. So part of it is a big portion of it is really student led. And it's going to be really them showing me what they want to do with these tools and how they're going to make these connections. So I have some 2D things prepared as well as a lot of 3D items. I'm really excited about these. These were provided by the Wildcat Foundation. So this is the Roman arch. I also have a Greek facade. And these are some really cool, they're hard to describe. They're not wooden. They're almost like a silicone block. And I'm really excited to get students in collaborative groups with these to really try to engineer and figure out how to make this arch work, to make the facade with all the columns work. There's also going to be just a lot of free building and exploration. We've got the classics, Lincoln logs. Some of them are from my childhood home. We've got these Kiva planks, which are really incredible for making structures. Of course, a very popular item. We've got our magnetic tiles and more. I have these city blocks. I have graph paper. I have stencils. I have all these architecture books. And I want to see what the kids can do with this to make that connection between planning in 2-dimensionality and making it come to life in 3D.
And something that, again, just so complex at that high school level, but it can really be boiled down to such an easy thing to understand at an early age. And then that's just yet another pillar of lifelong learning that they can take with them as they go forward through life.
Absolutely. And so many of our students are already utilizing tools like this, or maybe they're not. Maybe they don't have the opportunity to get their hands on these kinds of things because these are pricey materials. And we know that costs are just going up, which is why I am so grateful to the Wildcat Foundation for being able to supply us with these things, both at Broad Street and at Northside, to really pilot this program that then I'm really hoping we can take to the other elementary schools as well. So as we are engaging our elementary students, 3rd grade and under, in this kind of STEAM style thinking, which is all the rage right now, hopefully we can facilitate that here in the art studio as well.
Wow. I mean, that is fantastic. My mind is blown by this, if I'm being honest with you, Rachel. And I'd love to ask you more, but we are out of time. But thank you so much for sharing this. This has been amazing to learn about, just, again, another great program that the foundation is putting forward, making me wish I could be a kid all over again, right?
It's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm very excited.
All righty. Well, again, thank you so much, Rachel. And folks, this has been Foundation Facts presented by the Wildcat Foundation. Learn more about them online at wildcatfoundation.org. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll have second half action for you right here on Go Mechanicsburg.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Are you on the hunt for a new home? Maybe you're a growing family looking to expand your living situation, or you find your current space too large and you're simply looking to downsize. Whatever your needs, contact Charity Kastner, Realtor with RSR Realtors today. Charity knows the local real estate market and she will find the right home for you. Charity Kastner isn't just a Mechanicsburg-based realtor, she's a Mechanicsburg mom. And after all, mother knows best. Just ask her kids. Make the move today by calling Charity Kastner at 717-557-9312 or rsrrealtors.com to find your first or next home sweet home.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
With True Green, we got a great price on a golf course quality lawn,
which attracted golfers.
Morning.
Who needs a warm-up?
And because True Green's doing the work, we get to have more fun.
Please don't post that.
Too late.
They don't have grass this thick in Australia.
That's what happens when you have a great lawn.
Shanked it again, huh? They're fun to have around.
PGA Tour quality lawns for as little as $1 a day.
Where are we playing next?
Get started at TrueGreen.com.
A deck where memories are made, barbecues are grilled, and sunsets are savored. But let's face it, not all decks are created equal. Enter Westshire Decks. We're not your average deck builders. Precision is our mantra. We don't just build decks, we craft outdoor living spaces tailored to your dreams. With Westshire Decks, you get seasoned experts who know decks inside and out. So why settle for a deck that's just okay when you can have one that's extraordinary? Westshire Decks, where craftsmanship meets creativity. Give us a call today and come see how we are different.
The Wildcat Foundation is Mechanicsburg Area School District's education foundation. Established in 1998, the foundation raises and distributes funds that support students in education, wellness, cultural awareness, and athletics. The Wildcat Foundation has also awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to support students' higher education. Learn more and donate today at wildcatfoundation.org. Wolf Brewing Company, located in Legacy Park, just off South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, offers a family and pet-friendly atmosphere for community members of all ages. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company serves up delectable dishes including comfort foods with a gourmet twist, plus drinks of all types for the community, from the community. Roll in before, during, or after the game for their laid-back ambiance, live music, trivia, and more. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park Drive, Suite 400, or online at wolfbrewingco.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ben Shadden. It's time for our weekly Wildcat scoreboard presented by Operation Wildcat. On Saturday, September 13th, girls soccer travels to Dallastown for a 1 p.m. kickoff. On Monday, September 15th, golf travels to Bishop McDevitt. They start at 12:30. Girls tennis is home against Chambersburg. They start at 4. And field hockey travels to State College. They face off at 5 p.m. On Tuesday, September 16th, boys soccer travels to State College for a 5 p.m. kickoff. Girls soccer is home against State College. They also start at 5. Girls volleyball travels to Cumberland Valley. They start their match at 6. On Wednesday, September 17th, golf travels to Cedar Cliff for an 11 a.m. start time. Girls tennis travels to Mifflin County. They start at 4. Boys and girls cross country travels to Lower Dauphin. They start their meet at 4:30. And field hockey travels to Cedar Cliff. They face off at 6. On Thursday, September 18th, boys soccer travels to Cedar Cliff for a 3:45 kickoff. Girls tennis travels to Redland. They start at 4. Field hockey is home against Shippensburg with a 4:15 face-off. Girls volleyball is home against Central Dauphin. They start at 5. Girls soccer is also home against Cedar Cliff. They start at 5 as well. And then on Friday, September 19th, girls tennis is home against New Oxford at 4 p.m. And football is home to Gettysburg at 7 p.m. for our Salute to Service game. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to Wildcat Athletics on X/Twitter and on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. You can also visit mbgsd.org and click on the Athletics tab or download the new district app for the latest Wildcat news and information. We'll be right back after this.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub service and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
OSS Health is physician-owned and operated. We're able to help patients in a way that others cannot.
We're not looking at a number.
Everyone's looking out for the best thing for the patient.
Saying that they're reaching their goals, making the community as healthy as possible.
What I love most is when I get to see them get back to the activity that they love.
When I see a patient smiling, it makes it all worth it. I love my job.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab, or drop by our office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
At Bobby Ray Hall, it's about doing the right thing, starting with our vision, that clients deserve great service at a fair price. We understand this can only happen with great team members. Doing what's right includes supporting local charities, youth sports, and first responders. It extends to the environment and why we reclaim rainwater for car washes and recycle used oil. We want to thank our loyal clients for recognizing us by voting Bobby Ray Hall simply the best of Harrisburg for 21 years in a row. Experience the Bobby Ray Hall difference and find out more at BobbyRayHall.com.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management is a proud supporter of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When faced with tough business and personal financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. With a focus on retirement planning and complex financial situations, the team helps you define and achieve your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you and your family. Financial advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225 today.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. It was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Mary Ann at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
It's time for Mechanicsburg Wildcat Football, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, live on Go Mechanicsburg. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow Wildcat Athletics at Go Mechanicsburg on YouTube, available on all smart devices. Wildcat Football, live on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg, is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group, Charity Kastner RSR Realtors, your neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Lawnscapes Inc., Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care, Westshire Decks servicing all of Central PA, the Wildcat Foundation, and Wolf Brewing Company. It's time for Coach's Corner, presented by the Wildcat Foundation. Here's head coach Dave Heckert and the voice of the Wildcats, Mike Garland.
It is time for Coach's Corner, live on Go Mechanicsburg. Coach's Corner presented by our friends at the Wildcat Foundation. And I am joined by second-year head coach Dave Heckert for this week's Coach's Corner. Coach, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing all right.
Good.
So another week, another Wildcat victory, 19-0 over the Mifflin County Huskies, a team that came into Memorial Park last weekend undefeated. They held the Wildcats in check, though, 0-0 after the first quarter. What were your thoughts when you looked up and saw zeros on the board after 12 minutes?
No, I liked the test, right? We needed that, and we needed our guys to play a good full game. And here's the thing, we are going to get everybody's best effort, okay? And I explained that to the guys on Monday, like when you were a returning championship team, so you have a target on you, and Mifflin County came in and played hard and gave us a good test and a test that we needed.
We saw a great defense by the Wildcats, the first shutout actually in a little while, so that was nice to see from the Cats' defense. Offensively, another great week by Noah Apple and Reese Miller running the ball. I mean, Reese has stepped in for Isaac Dolman after Isaac's graduation, and probably through 3 games, Reese may have more yards rushing than Isaac had last year, but regardless, those two are looking great offensively.
No, they are, and when you have that run game working, and it just makes everything else run a little smoother, and Noah's poise at quarterback has been great all season, and we're really happy with that part of our game right now. So
last year the team was very 50-50 balance rushing to passing. This year it seems to be a bit more of a rush-heavy offense. Is the desire to pass still there? Are you still feeling things out? What are your thoughts right now on those statistical imbalances?
No, yeah, maybe that's a little bit of my roots coming out, but I definitely like to establish a run game. But I think that you have to play to your team's strength year in and year out, right? And then last year we had some guys on the outside that really did a good job getting the ball moving downfield, and this year we're a little different, but effective, just in a different way. And so we're going to still challenge teams hopefully with the run, and hopefully use that to set up our pass game.
J.J. Gould, he had some great returns this past week, but he also took a couple of big hits. Have you had any conversations with him about the concept of a fair catch?
I tell you, I love J.J. Gould, and he's our special teams captain, and has had a great game on Friday. And what people don't understand is that you see a guy catching a punt, and sometimes he gets a nice little return, and other times, as you said, he gets answered quickly. But the field position that you acquire from just simply catching a punt is big. It doesn't hit and bounce another 20 yards, right? And he's doing a great job both on punts and kickoffs, and even kick return or kickoff team where he's covering, like he does a good job. So, I mean, he's been a force on the special team side of things for us the past couple years, and now we see him on the field everywhere. So he's doing a nice job.
And we're seeing more from Anthony Francis in the backfield as the season goes on. Can we expect more carries from Anthony as a good 1-2 punch to Reese Miller?
Yeah, and the last 2 weeks we've kind of plugged him in the second half with a fresh set of legs, and that whole thing's kind of been working. But I would say he'll probably get peppered a little more in the first half, and he came off of a little bit of a shoulder injury, so there's some easing back into play there for him, and just using caution as we enter the rest of the season here.
Jack DeLuca snagged what I believe to be Mechanicsburg's first interception of the season in the game against Mifflin County. Now, we haven't talked about Jack as much offensively. He did score that big touchdown in week 1, but what's he meant to your team defensively?
No, he's just a force at that outside linebacker spot in our defense. I mean, that's a key position. You have to have a person out there that's tough enough to play the run, graceful enough to play the pass, and obviously he does both. So, but he's like a precious piece of china for us. You know what I mean? And we kind of use him, and we try to protect him, and keep him healthy. But he's so valuable on both sides of the ball for us. So,
what was it like finally being home, playing in front of the home crowd, the marching band, all the bells and whistles that come with a home game?
Yeah, everything it should be, right? We were excited, and I looked up the stadium. I think it was about 6:15, 6:30, and everywhere but where the band sits was packed, and that's a great atmosphere, and that's what we have here, and that's why we love it.
Very cool. Anything else you'd like to add about the Mifflin County win?
No, it was a tough, hard-fought win, and they brought their A game and battled hard. So proud of our guys, and we're 3-0, and we're moving into next week. So
we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about next week, which is tonight. It's the Lower Dauphin Falcons at a very unique venue as well. Coach's Corner continues after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub service and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
OSS Health is physician-owned and operated. We're able to help patients in a way that others cannot.
We're not looking at a number.
Everyone's looking out for the best thing for the patient.
Seeing that they're reaching their goals, making the community as healthy as possible.
What I love most is when I get to see them get back to the activity that they love.
When I see a patient smiling, it makes it all worth it. I love my job.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab. Or drop by our office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
At Bobby Ray Hall, it's about doing the right thing, starting with our vision, that clients deserve great service at a fair price. We understand this can only happen with great team members. Doing what's right includes supporting local charities, youth sports, and first responders. It extends to the environment and why we reclaim rainwater for car washes and recycle used oil. We want to thank our loyal clients for recognizing us by voting Bobby Ray Hall simply the best of Harrisburg for 21 years in a row. Experience the Bobby Ray Hall difference and find out more at BobbyRayHall.com.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management is a proud supporter of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When faced with tough business and personal financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. With a focus on retirement planning and complex financial situations, the team helps you define and achieve your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you and your family. Financial advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225 today.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. It was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Mary Ann at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner, live on Go Mechanicsburg. Coach's Corner, presented by the Wildcat Foundation. We'll get you out to the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth in just a bit. With head coach Dave Heckard, we talk now about our Week 4 opponent. It is the Lower Dauphin Falcons. Lower Dauphin with a big win last week against the Northern Polar Bears. And Northern, crap, screwed up.
You're good.
I screwed up. Might as well screw it up 30 seconds in each time. All right. Welcome back to Coach's Corner, live on Go Mechanicsburg. Coach's Corner presented by our friends at the Wildcat Foundation. We'll get you back to the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth in just a moment. But we talk about tonight's opponent, Coach Heckard. It is the Lower Dauphin Falcons, a team that picked up a come-from-behind win last week against the Northern Polar Bears. And we talked in our first segment about Mechanicsburg being more of a run-heavy team this year. Well, when you look at the stats for Lower Dauphin, they are absolutely a run-heavy team. What do you see both on paper and on film with Lower Dauphin?
Well, I think they're a tough physical team. I think that they're a well-coached team. I know defensively, last year they did a good job with us, and I expect nothing less this year. I mean, you're going into Hershey Park Stadium, and we're going to be in a fight Friday night. So.
And that's something that I wanted to touch on. I did an interview last week after the game, and I talked about the environment of playing in Hershey Park Stadium. 15, 16, 17-year-old kids that maybe their only experience in that stadium is going to a concert or just seeing it when they go to Hershey Park. This is the biggest stadium that these kids will play in probably their entire high school career. Have you talked about that at all? You've played there, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah, we actually addressed that in our meeting yesterday, or our meeting Monday. Just the environment of Hershey Park Stadium, handling that, and understanding what comes with that. And Lower Dauphin is a team that defends their turf, and they play tough at Hershey Park. So. We're going to have to be ready for that one for sure. And that's a whole different atmosphere.
Are the kids excited to play in this high-profile venue?
Yeah, and it is. I mean, I feel like it's a big stadium, but I told them also sometimes it feels like there's nobody there. The stadium's kind of back a little bit. You won't pack the stadium, so you don't hear the noise as much, right? Because it's a bigger stadium. But nonetheless, the field's still 100 yards from goal line to goal line, and we're gonna hopefully. Do what we can do Friday night and have some success. So.
Saw some cramping last week against Mifflin County. It was a little warmer Friday night, but what have you done over the past week to try to combat that, like the reminders of staying hydrated?
Yeah, just their kids, right? So just reminding them, each week of hydrating, and we added actually more Gatorade into our mix this week of practice, not just water per se. So our training staff, who I trust, those guys do a great job, and they've been communicating with us different things to do and try to get ahead of it. I mean, that's the thing. You can't hydrate the day of. That has to start today or start Monday or Tuesday, right? So these guys got to get on it early. But that was a little bit of an issue Friday night, but it was a little warm out. So hopefully we took care of that.
Hopefully not as warm tonight. Obviously it gets a little cooler when that sun goes down. And I guess the last thing is much like at Carlisle, if my geographical recollection of Hershey Park Stadium is correct, the visitor side will be facing the sun. Yeah. So you will have that to combat, at least during the first quarter. What might you take out of the Carlisle experience to battle the sun?
Maybe a pair of sunglasses, right? Pair of sunglasses
and a hat,
and a hat. You know what I mean?
Something like that. Okay.
My wife tells me all the time from the stands I should be wearing a hat anyway. But maybe we'll put one on.
Just a solar panel. You're fine. You're fine.
That's right.
So another week at school.
Yep.
How are things going in the classroom?
Things are going great. We're settling in now, and everything's going well. So.
Very exciting. Well, good luck tonight, Coach Heckard. The Wildcats are looking for regular season win number 17 in a row. If they can win tonight, they'll have that magical mark. We're going to take a break and get ready for kickoff. Tonight's broadcast presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. We'll be back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
You've been watching Coach's Corner, presented by the Wildcat Foundation. Coming up, we'll get you out to the stadium for tonight's game live on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Are you on the hunt for a new home? Maybe you're a growing family looking to expand your living situation, or you find your current space too large and you're simply looking to downsize. Whatever your needs, contact Charity Kastner, Realtor with RSR Realtors today. Charity knows the local real estate market and she will find the right home for you. Charity Kastner isn't just a Mechanicsburg-based realtor, she's a Mechanicsburg mom. And after all, mother knows best. Just ask her kids. Make the move today by calling Charity Kastner at 717-557-9312 or rsrrealtors.com to find your first or next home sweet home.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
With True Green, we got a great price on a golf course quality lawn.
Which attracted golfers.
Morning. Who needs a warm-up? And because True Green's doing the work, we get to have more fun.
Please don't post that.
Too late.
They don't have grass this thick in Australia.
That's what happens when you have a great lawn.
Shanked it again, huh? They're fun to have around.
PGA Tour quality lawns for as little as $1 a day.
Where are we playing next?
Get started at TrueGreen.com.
A deck where memories are made, barbecues are grilled, and sunsets are savored. But let's face it, not all decks are created equal. Enter Westshire Decks. We're not your average deck builders. Precision is our mantra. We don't just build decks, we craft outdoor living spaces tailored to your dreams. With Westshire Decks, you get seasoned experts who know decks inside and out. So why settle for a deck that's just okay when you can have one that's extraordinary? Westshire Decks, where craftsmanship meets creativity. Give us a call today and come see how we are different.
The Wildcat Foundation is Mechanicsburg Area School District's education foundation. Established in 1998, the foundation raises and distributes funds that support students in education, wellness, cultural awareness, and athletics. The Wildcat Foundation has also awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to support students' higher education. Learn more and donate today at wildcatfoundation.org. Wolf Brewing Company, located in Legacy Park, just off South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, offers a family and pet-friendly atmosphere for community members of all ages. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company serves up delectable dishes including comfort foods with a gourmet twist, plus drinks of all types for the community, from the community. Roll in before, during, or after the game for their laid-back ambiance, live music, trivia, and more. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park Drive, Suite 400, or online at wolfbrewingco.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
It's time for Mechanicsburg Wildcat Football, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, live on Go Mechanicsburg. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow Wildcat Athletics at Go Mechanicsburg on YouTube, available on all smart devices. Wildcat Football, live on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg, is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group, Charity Kastner RSR Realtors, your neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Lawnscapes Inc., Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, Your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care, Westshire Decks servicing all of Central PA, the Wildcat Foundation, and Wolf Brewing Company. Now, let's head out to the stadium and the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth for tonight's game.
With the call, here's the voice of the Wildcats, Mike Garland and Dave Harris.
And good evening, Wildcat fans from the sweetest place on earth, Hershey, Pennsylvania. Welcome into tonight's Week 4 high school football matchup featuring the Mechanicsburg Wildcats and the Lower Dauphin Falcons. I am Mike Garland, joined as always by my tag team partner, Dave Harris. And tonight, Dave, you have the 3-0 Mechanicsburg Wildcats, the 1-2 Lower Dauphin Falcons coming together for what is now the 3rd game of Mid-Penn Keystone play, the 4th game of the season. And it's a big game tonight for both teams. Mechanicsburg looking to solidify their place at the top of the division, and for Lower Dauphin looking to get back to 500.
Yeah, this has been a long-time opponent of the Cats, and I'll stop short of a rival, but a long-time opponent, and it's one that we always have used as a barometer. They've been a steady, solid program. They've obviously made it to the state championship level back in the 90s, always competitive in Mid-Penn Keystone. But it almost feels a little bit lately like we're shifting in different directions right now. Mechanicsburg is surging the last 2 years. Lower Dauphin not quite figuring out their identity and where they're at. And so tonight will be a big one to determine if these trends continue or not, Mike.
Liam Brissner, Chase Goddard standing back deep to receive the opening kick. It's going to be fielded by Chase Goddard near the 20, and Chase Goddard is going to be taken down after a return of 2 or 3 yards on the tackle for the Cats, Talon Verdelli and Dylan Taylor. So here comes the Lower Dauphin offense that is a run-first offense, running back by committee. 674 rushing yards on the season. That amounts to about 224 rushing yards per game. Conversely, Dave, just 210 passing yards. So let's see what this Wildcat defense can do.
Yeah, there's no doubt they care not to throw the ball. As a matter of fact, they haven't thrown the ball in the red zone yet this year. They rarely throw the ball other than when they need to on 3rd or 4th down. As a matter of fact, they haven't thrown it on 4th down, I don't believe, either. So
single man in motion, and it's a running play on 1st and 10. Hunter Strom with the carry. And Strom just past the original line of scrimmage. Tackle made for the Cats by Jimmy Dwyer.
Yeah, some of the stuff I was able to take a look at here, that right there is one of their 2 favorite plays. That was power right, and their other favorite play, take a guess, Mike, is
power left?
Power left. You got it, exactly.
Well, and that matters if you're an offensive lineman for Lower Dauphin and head coach Josh Borelli, because if you can't block, you can't establish the run. 2nd down and 7 for the Falcons. The quarterback is Braden Heckard. Heckard rolling to his left. That pass tipped near the line of scrimmage and incomplete. On coverage for the Cats, Darius Crawford George.
Yeah, something I always find interesting is a team that does not throw the ball much. I like the idea of coming out and throwing in 2nd and 7. It seems like an optimal time to come out and make a throw. But then they take a quarterback who doesn't get to throw the ball much, and they roll him against the strength of his arm, which really requires him to reset his feet, turn his shoulders, turn his hips. It's just not a natural thing, and it can be a very effective way to run your offense, but you got to have a seasoned quarterback who gets a chance to throw the ball a couple hundred times.
8 seconds on the play clock, and there is a flag on the play, and that's going to go against Mechanicsburg for encroachment. Fall sports are here, and Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming is cheering on our hometown Wildcats. While athletes hit the field, let your dog be the MVP at home. Call Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming today at 717-919-6266 or stop by their store, 16 South Market Street in Mechanicsburg. Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, where every pet looks like a champion. And now we have a stoppage and a timeout because that 5-yard penalty changes things here for what this 3rd down play call may be.
Well, I disagree because what do they like to do? Run power right, run power left. So what I was going to say, Mike, given the chance, was it's 3rd and 3. This is right where they want to be. The penalty set them up nicely, which is what makes me really question the timeout.
Well, it was going to be 3rd and 7, so maybe you do try to pass, and now all of a sudden, hey, guys, we are where we want to be. Maybe we can run the ball. So an early timeout here for the Lower Dauphin Falcons gives us a chance to recognize our officials for today. Your referee is Phil Celesti, the umpire Brock Glassford, down judge Rich Needham, line judge David Spizziri, and the back judge is Brian McDonald. These are your officials. We hope we don't have to talk about them much today. But following the timeout, Phil Celesti blows his whistle, and we will get back to play. 3rd down and 3 with 11:17 remaining in quarter number 1. Braden Heckert in the shotgun, single man in motion, and the handoff goes to the motion man Chase Goddard, and he is met near the line to gain by Talon Verdelli. It's going to be close, but the far side official says move the chains. They needed 3. They got maybe 3.5.
Yeah, not well played by the Cats defense. Obviously, it's called assignment football. Drake Dawson gets a field. He probably could kind of plan himself a little bit and hold contain. But Verdelli comes and cleans up nicely. I thought they had a chance to get that before the line to gain, but came up just shy, and Lower Dauphin gets the sticks moved. So we'll see.
2 wide receivers to the right of Heckert, a single back in the backfield. Tight end on the left side of the offense. Goddard, the motion man, goes from the right side to the left. And there's a flag on the play as Hunter Strom, the ball carrier, picks up 4, but let's wait to see what the call is going to be.
In the neighborhood of holding. It came from the umpire right in the middle of the scrum there as he was working his way, bouncing it left.
So Lower Dauphin should be backed up 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll bring up 1st down and maybe 17 or 18 early here in quarter number 1.
Yeah, Strom, number 9, is their go-to guy. The notes I have him at 6'2", 205. Looks like obviously that's an imposing force at running back. They stack him kind of in the pistol behind the quarterback and try to get his shoulders upfield and square. I think he also plays a pretty dominant role on their defense as well. I think in the middle of the linebacker position.
And he leads the team in rushing with 49 carries, 316 yards. So 1st down and 20, as I guess that hold came somewhere near the line of scrimmage. Heckert, 1-step drop. That pass is incomplete. It was intended for Cohen Pollock. And on the coverage for the Mechanicsburg Wildcats, Noah Apple.
Yeah, Noah makes a nice break on that. I think he'd like to have that again and see if he could go get that. You know, on the same token, you've got a 1st and long, so you don't want to give up a big play. The problem with jumping the route and guessing is if you're right, you're a hero. If you're wrong, you're the GOAT, right? So smart play by Noah, and he breaks it up and leaves him in 2nd and long.
15 seconds on the play clock. Single man in motion, that's Connor Kreiser. Heckert, 2-step drop, steps up in the pocket, and that pass is overthrown. It was intended for Hunter Strom.
Interesting that we've actually seen, is that our 3rd pass or our 4th pass from a team that I'm not sure what you got there in terms of total passes. I can't tell from the notes I have.
Heckert has thrown 30 passes all season.
Right, so you've got, we're not 2 minutes into the game and he's thrown 3 passes. So it seems a little out of character, and you wonder, do you have to try to go against your tendencies to try to beat a team like Mechanicsburg, right? Look at your scouting report and you go, okay, they're tough on the line. We've talked about it all year long, how Mechanicsburg is built through the lines. We're going to just keep gashing our head up there. We're going to end up maybe kind of like Mifflin felt last week with -1 yards rushing and down 3 scores. So
another timeout on the field, this time for the Mechanicsburg Wildcats. With that timeout, we'll step out as well. Early in the ball game, no score. Mechanicsburg and Lower Dauphin back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Following the Wildcat timeout, it's 3rd down and 20 for the Lower Dauphin Falcons. Heckert Drops back to pass. Now he scrambles left, and he's going to be tripped up just past the 30-yard line on the tackle for the Wildcats, J.J. Gould. So it's now 4th down and about 15 for the Falcons, and the punting unit will come on the field, and that same J.J. Gould who made the tackle will drop back along with Ryan Foose to return this punt.
Great play there by J.J. Gould. Obviously, it was trips right or twins right with a back offset. Quarterback saw something broken. He looked nice coming out of there, and I thought he had a chance, but J.J. Gould really took the angle away there, Mike.
Cohen Pollock standing on his own 15, low snap. Pollock fields, boots it away, a wobbler. Gould will field at the 35, advances about 4 yards before he is tackled by Chase Goddard. 1st down and 10, and the Wildcat offense will come onto the field for the first time tonight.
Again, another great decision by J.J. Gould. People don't realize just fielding that, let alone getting up 4 yards, that really could be the equivalent of a 14 or a 24-yard punt return, right? He lets that go. That was a little bit of a knuckler, a little bit of an end-over-end. If that gets a lowered off and bounce, that ball could very well be inside the 25-yard line, maybe inside the 20. So the fact that he fields it and then even gets upfield from about the 34 up to about the 39 is a huge decision. Sets the Cats up in a place where they really would like to be, the 40 coming out.
Noah Apple in the shotgun. Reese Miller just to his right. Apple 2-step drop. That pass complete to J.J. Gould, who slips near the 41, and the official's going to say he was down, and we'll take another look just to confirm.
I'm not sure he was
seeing.
down. I thought he put his hand down very nicely. I did not see his knee go down.
So we'll look at it one more time.
No, I don't think it did.
There was no knee on the field from what we could tell.
Little home cooking here on the home side. Side judge is, let me get started here, Mike. It's the 3rd game, and I haven't said much about our 4th game. Haven't said much about the officials yet. But here we are, 2nd and 7.
Apple in the gun. Miller one more time. 8 seconds on the play clock. Jack DeLuca goes in motion. Pop pass. DeLuca looking to turn the corner. Goes wide on the Falcon defense. Met near the line of scrimmage by Hunter Strom. And I'm not sure the Cats gained any yards. Might have lost 1 or 2 on the play.
Yeah,
3rd down and 9.
Strom did a nice job getting sideline to sideline. He read that play. He saw it coming. That's a slow developing one. If you're not catching them completely off guard, you almost have no chance, no matter who you're playing. If people stay at home, if people play their positions, you got to go a long way to get a little yardage. It's not a play I love from the middle of the field. It's a long way to get there.
Caden Brissell also pushed DeLuca wide. 10 seconds on the play clock. Apple steps up in the pocket. He's dangerous on his feet. He gains about 6 yards, but it's still going to be short of the line to gain. 4th down.
Decision time for Coach Eckert here, because this is right. The new analytics, which I don't necessarily read a whole lot about or know a whole lot about, but this was an automatic 5 yards. You punted years ago. But now you're looking here going 4th and 5. We're out at the plus or minus 44. We're going to go for it. And especially, Mike, when you have a defense like the Cats do, you're not real worried about putting your back against the wall here.
Apple deep. Could be a quick kick, but they draw Lower Dauphin offsides instead. It was 4th and 5, so this is either going to be an automatic first or close to a measurement.
It should be right on it. It really should give it to him. It should be on the stripe. Yeah, it is. They're going to give it to him.
Well, you had Noah Apple as the deep man back there behind Reese Miller, so I'm not sure if they were going to go for it, if they were trying to draw the Falcons off, or if they were going to go for the quick kick. But regardless, that penalty by the Falcons moves the chains. 1st down and 10 for Mechanicsburg.
So they got 12 on right now. Okay, there we go.
Dylan Taylor, the fullback, leads the way for Reese Miller as he gets into plus territory. The ball's going to be spotted at the 49-yard line. Head coach Josh Borelli in his 4th year at Lower Dauphin, 23-22 overall, including an 0-2 postseason record. They actually qualified for the postseason last year, losing their game 29-0.
So that's what makes the Cats so exciting right now. Even tonight so far, they've only on, their 5th offensive play. They've not looked crisp. They've not looked great, but they somehow managed to get 3 yards no matter what, with the exception of that jet sweep.
Reese Miller takes the handoff, slips just past the line of scrimmage, and you'd think with this beautiful synthetic field here at Hershey Park Stadium, you wouldn't have that kind of traction issue. You could expect that at Carlisle or at Northern Lebanon, where the Cats played in week 2 when you have that grass surface, but you wouldn't expect the kind of slippage that you're seeing here on the carpet.
So 3rd and 7. Again, Cats have not looked real crisp so far this series since they've had the ball. They got a 1st down by penalty, but here they go on 3rd and 7.
Noah Apple, designed quarterback keeper, goes left, cuts back right. and he is tackled short of the line to gain. I expect the offense to stay on the field one more time, as it's going to bring up about a 4th down and 1. And coming out of the pile for Lower Dauphin was Hunter Strom.
Yeah, it should be. Now you're back to your base offense. Obviously, you need to get the first down, but you're on the plus 43, right? You're going in, and you need 2 yards. So each time, again, the odds are better for your defense if they have to come back out on the field. But you're also not looking to get 5 or 6 yards. So I don't think you have to worry, line up and do the the kind of the fake punt game that you play sometimes on the other side of the 50. Here you go to your playbook and you see what you can do to get the first down.
And you give it to Reese Miller, who turns the corner and picks up the first down for the Wildcats. The second first down on this series. This one earned, the previous one by way of penalty. Regardless, the chains move one more time.
Yeah, nice run there. He saw where the sticks were. He got up there, lowered on. This is starting to shape up early, I'll say, a little bit like last week with Mifflin County, a team that, has some power on defense. Obviously, we've seen Strom make a couple plays so far. Cats, against a decent team, maybe he's not going to big play them the way they did last year, and so they're going to make them earn it here early on, and it's shaping up very similar way. So every little bit matters here until we see if somebody can seize momentum of the game.
Busted play. Noah Apple keeps, bounces outside, and he is going to be tackled by Lower Dauphin's Nick Hengst. Apple turned right, the back went left, and the Cats are fortunate that the athleticism of Noah Apple was able to turn that into a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, and they had a little surge. Like I said, with the exception of the jet sweep, they're gaining yardage every play. I don't know that they look real crisp tonight. I don't know that they look as polished as they did against Carlisle and even maybe as they did against Mifflin. I think Mifflin at this point had shown a little more force defensively than what we've seen here in the first half of the first quarter from Lower Dauphin. But Lower Dauphin very formidable, and the Cats are going to have to clean up some stuff and earn at least this, see if they get this first score and take a little control of the game.
Drake Dawson, the recipient of that Noah Apple pass on the near sideline, stopped at the 29-yard line. The chains will move one more time. A beautiful night for high school football here in Hershey, historic Hershey Park Stadium. It's been here since 1939. It has hosted countless concerts, football games, major milestone events, and we get to be here tonight in what might be our last opportunity to broadcast a game here.
Yeah, not doing too many more football games here anymore, for sure. Yeah,
and a flag on the play. False start against the Wildcats. I mean, you and I talked pregame about all the different concerts and the moments and the memories that we have of being here. You saw Jimmy Buffett here. Paul McCartney has played here. Zach Brown Band, Kendrick Lamar. I mean, last year's Super Bowl halftime show played here earlier this year. The last time I was here, it was to see Jelly Roll and Post Malone. And if I hear anywhere near the kind of language tonight that I heard at that show, we're going to have a problem.
Most importantly, there's been some big high school football games here, Mike, not just counting the Big 33 state championships. Mechanicsburg won a district championship on this field. Mechanicsburg lost the district championship, actually, on this field, I think at least twice, one in the 80s and one in the early 2000s.
Slant pass complete to J.J. Gould. Good for a gain of 9. It's going to bring up I believe, second down and one for the Cats, as the down and distance on the scoreboard was slow to change.
Yeah. So again, picking up some nice yardage. Nice, keep them off guard. Use all parts of your playbook. Coach Rubinick kind of balancing some stuff out. Don't let them get too comfortable. Don't get too predictable. Early in the game, throw a lot of things at them. Keep them on their toes.
Noah Apple has thrown 3 touchdown passes this year. This is a handoff to Reese Miller, who is met at the line of scrimmage. Leading the way, Chase Armenta, a junior, and he flings Miller to the ground. So 2nd and 1 becomes 3rd and 1 for the Mechanicsburg Wildcats.
Yeah, I tell you what, we talked last week. Mifflin had a really nice linebacker, inside linebacker, and a good defensive end, and some solid tackles. It took a while to break through. But sooner or later, and I look at this as I look across the front, and I look at Pollock. Here's a really nice big kid, number 11, number 77, Stoke. We have a good line, and we've got a lot of guys back, and we know we've been dominant. But sooner or later, we might meet our match there, and we're going to have to bring a few other elements to our game.
Noah Apple designed quarterback keep. It was the inside read. He pulled it down, surged forward, a gain of 3, and the chains will move one more time. Mechanicsburg started this drive from near their own 30, and they have matriculated the ball down the field in a methodical way, and this is a fast-moving first quarter as well. We're under 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, I tell you what, we're now getting we're in the middle third of the season now. We've just gotten started. The Cats are 3-0. Obviously, it's not too soon to start talking about postseason, and it will be interesting. We're going to have to rely on the pass at some point in some situation to win a game or to pull ahead in a game, and certainly we're going to need that later in the postseason should we get that far. And so it'll be interesting tonight. Even though we're picking up 2 or 3 at a clip, we're not gashing them for 5, 7, or double-digit yardage. And Lower Dauphin, if they can stay fresh and keep that front up, Cats are going to have to throw the ball a little bit to stretch them out.
Noah Apple on the quarterback keeper. Nick Hengst with the tackle. 2nd down and 14, a loss on the play. And Wildcat fans, that QR code on your screen is your one-click link to the upcoming Music in the Park Mechanicsburg Marching Band home event coming up on September 27th. The Mechanicsburg Music Alliance and USA Bands invite you to be part of the 27th annual event. As Apple steps back to lob Drake Dawson's way. He gets some separation, hauls it in at the 1, and it's going to be 1st down and goal.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he wasn't potentially interfered with, although it was questionable. Definitely a lot of, I'll say a little bit of contact there at the goal line. He goes up and he gets it. He wins the jump ball and reaches and stretches and comes up just shy of the goal line. So, again, just talking a little earlier, going to need to pass. Of course, that was set up with a little bit of a nice fake by Noah to the right. Noah Apple kind of a fake kind of lead draw, little look, pops back, lets that thing go, and Drake Dawson got him behind. If Noah had let him a little bit, Dawson scores going away.
Reese Miller takes the handoff, met at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss on the play. Leading the way with vigor, Michael Schumacher, and the Cats will back up as the first quarter comes to an end, or at least will here in just a moment. So we'll wrap up the live read for the band, reminding you that if you want to come to the event, scan the QR code to get your tickets. It's $12 for adults at the door, $8 for students, active military, veterans, and seniors as well, and the youngins 4 and under get in free. So we head to the other end of the field here at Hershey Park Stadium towards Wildcats revenge. 0-0 the score. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub surface and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Welcome back to Hershey Park Stadium. Mike Garland, Dave Harris in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. It's 2nd and goal for the Wildcats. And Noah Apple hands to Reese Miller. And Reese Miller is going to be stood up near the line of scrimmage and lose another yard on the play. This Lower Dauphin defense is standing strong as Hunter Strom makes first contact and brings Reese Miller down.
Yeah, we're getting some resistance up there that we have not seen as much, it's kind of every down. There's a lot of stuff happening between the tackles in there, and that's a place that we've had a lot of success. We know we've got a lot of experience back on the line. So, we've been able to rely on some power. We've been able to dictate tempo, and this is what we're going to do and have our way. And now it might challenge us a little bit to rely a little bit more on formations and some scheme to get the openings.
Touchdown Wildcats as, oh no, they're going to say he was down at the 1. It looked like Reese Miller might have made it. I jumped the gun. We'll take a look at it one more time.
They're making us earnest. I'm not so sure Drake didn't get close down there. And it's hard to tell where the ball is. I'm pretty sure the ball was across before his butt went down, but not getting that call tonight. I don't think we're going to get a lot here is what I'm sensing there, Mike.
Well, Noah Apple's going to go under center, and if ever there was a time to run a quarterback sneak, this is it. You got it.
Noah Apple with the push. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, the Wildcats.
Yeah, a little bit of everything on that. We had a nice fielded punt. It ended up being a fairly long drive, about 61 yards, and a nice mix of run and pass. First downs by penalty, first downs by pass. A little bit of everything in there for the Cats. And so if you're Coach Eckerd, holding the ball, I didn't look at the time of possession here, but I'll bet we held it a good 8 minutes probably, maybe a little bit longer, and that's feeling pretty good about that.
Tanner Minnick's extra point inches its way over the crossbar. It is up. It is good. 10:45 remaining in the first half. Mechanicsburg 7, Lower Dauphin nothing. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Hershey Park Stadium, Mike Garland, Dave Harris, and you. The Wildcats lead 7-0 following a 1-yard quarterback sneak by Noah Apple, his third rushing touchdown of the season. And the Tanner Minnick kickoff is fielded on the far side of the field by Nick Hengst, and he brings it towards the middle of the carpet here at Hershey Park Stadium before being met by Talon Verdelli and a host of Wildcat tacklers. So the Lower Dauphin offense hasn't been on the field for a while, and they come back out to try to make something happen here in the second quarter.
Well, Mechanicsburg is not a team you want to try to play from behind, right? It's 7-0, and especially, once again, for the fourth straight week, we're seeing a team that really doesn't have a passing game that is a threat, or at least that they rely upon. And we say that not based on the talent of the players, but rather by the statistics that are available to us. And so, if you're Lower Dauphin, you really you need to churn out a couple first downs, run some clock, and obviously see if you can get a score.
Kangalosi, the single back in the backfield behind Heckard. And encroachment. And Colin Stair, he earned that offsides penalty. I remember playing football as a youngin', and they said if you're going to jump, get your money's worth, whether he was drawn or not.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna call what they think they saw, right or wrong. But you're right. Once you go, you can't go halfway. You might as well go all the way.
5 yards is 5 yards. First down and 5 following the penalty. 10:36 remaining in the first half. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. The lights of Hershey Park starting to come alive. Heckard takes the shotgun snap, hands it off to Kangalosi, who tries to bounce outside. He can't turn the corner, but does gain enough yards to get close to the line to gain. I was watching the far side official, who's now coming back towards an angle. It's going to be second down and 1, so a 3-yard gain.
Really nice play there by Crawford George, number 24. You've got to contain, and sometimes, and he's a young man he's a 10th grader. We haven't seen him out there a whole lot yet. Sometimes there's a tendency to want to kind of come up field and open it up so that somebody else has to make the tackle. He held his ground and pinched it and ended up making the tackle. Really nice play there.
Single man in motion for the Falcons. Heckard, the quarterback, handing to Kangalosi, who busts through the Wildcat front line into the second level, and being chased from behind. The ball comes loose. Noah Apple knocked it free, but trailing the play for the Falcons was Connor Kreiser, and he helps keep a big play alive.
Well, I think what's interesting, though, is the official brought it back to the 21. He was going to roll him down, not a fumble, because if you saw where it was recovered, it was closer to the 15. So he threw the back. He was, unless it was ruled it couldn't be fumbled forward. I saw he had his beanbag out, but he did bring it back to the 21. But nice run there, got to the second level, and then ran through the second level, got to the third level very, very quickly. Cangialosi.
Not the kind of play we've seen the Wildcats give up much over the last year plus. Heckard in the gun, low shotgun snap, the handoff to Ethan Tanner. Tanner met near the line of scrimmage. Drake Dawson with the tackle. Wildcat Athletics would like to recognize the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department for their continued support of our web streams. With the Recreation Department here in Mechanicsburg, you can immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery, from creative crafts, dance, to fitness opportunities, family fun, and more. They offer a little something for everybody. Visit mbgsd.org, click on the Recreation tab, download the new District app, or stop by the Trails and Trees Environmental Center to learn more. 15 seconds of the play clock, single man in motion. And the handoff again, Ethan Tanner, same result, 3rd down and 10. And a nice job by the Wildcat defensive line, including Tanner Videlli and Dylan Taylor, helping keep the Falcons in check.
Yeah, Verdelli's linebacker made a nice play the last 2 plays coming in there, and solid play. You know, I know you mentioned Drake Dawson, of course, making the initial hit, but there was kind of he got stood up, and that was Verdelli as well. So they're trying to go to the same place over the right-hand side. They like something there, obviously, in their offensive line. Maybe they see some sort of weakness. I don't know if it's Dawson coming upfield too much, or they think they can take advantage of the linebacker, but the Cats have shut it down the last 2 plays.
Heckert, 2-step drop under pressure. Colin Stair grabs him by the shoelace, can't bring him down. Now Heckert with the fall-away pass, out of bounds and incomplete. Colin Stair, the Central Michigan commit, busted through, nearly had his 3rd sack of the season.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on him. Quarterback did escape, and Stair could not regain his footing. Quarterback really didn't have a chance, got rid of it. I guess he was throwing it to number 11, Pollock, but he was quite a ways downfield.
So it's 4th down and 10 after some successful offensive plays for the Lower Dauphin Falcons. 4-down territory, and when you're a 1-win, 2-loss team, here's an opportunity to take a chance and see what you can do with it, because if nothing else, you pin the Wildcats deep in their own territory.
Well, that's assuming you gain yardage.
Heckert rolling to his right. Colin Stair trying one more time. Can't get him. Pass knocked away. So Colin Stair, Drake Dawson with the pressure, and some chirping from the Lower Dauphin sidelines towards referee Phil Salusti. I don't know if they thought maybe late hit, but regardless, a turnover on downs.
Nah, it was clean. Matter of fact, I think they were looking to see if indeed there was even a receiver again, but he was outside the tackle box. So no grounding there, and the Cats take over on their 21-yard line. So, yeah, really one play. It was one play, and it was a great play there by Cangialosi, but the Cats tightened up the defense after that, shut them down, then put pressure on the quarterback on 3rd and 4th down, netting zero yardage after the big run.
1st down and 10 for the Mechanicsburg Wildcats. Follow the Wildcats on X, formerly Twitter, @GoMechanicsburg, for the latest in Wildcat news and sports. Ben Shad's going to have a volleyball broadcast coming up later on this week, and then we'll be home for high school football Friday night. First of 3 in a row at Memorial Park and John H. Frederick Field. An inside handoff to Reese Miller. Reese Miller bounce off one tackle, picks up the 1st down as he surges past the 40-yard line. And a flag is on the play as we take another look at it. This one likely comes back, but a nice run by Reese Miller after initial contact.
It's a long conversation, though, so I'm not sure what it is here. It's not saying it's not going to be a hold, but
they're talking about it, and we'll get the call in a moment from Phil Salusti. Kind of an alphabet soup of a last name. So he's walking over to the Lower Dauphin sideline to explain what's up. It's a hold. And because Reese Miller picked up the 1st down, now you have a conversation as to, you're certainly not going to decline it, but you back him up. And I believe it's going to just be 1st down again from wherever they choose to spot it. It's actually going to be, 1st and 10 from wherever they spot it?
About 12 or 13, I think.
Okay. So he gets to keep the 1st down and 10. It's just 1st and 10 back a little bit further. Rare is the time you run for 15 and somehow lose yardage. Officially now 1st and 12. Noah Apple keeps after the fake to Reese Miller. Apple spins out of one tackle and gets across the 25 to the 26. Coming out of the pile for the Falcons is Tyler Newman.
Nice 7-yard gain there. Yeah, they spread him out a little bit, went with a trip spread look. And put a little pressure on the defense. And then what you're doing there is you're creating out, and you're asking guys to make plays in space. And clearly when you've got a scouting report, you've watched film, there's guys you you know can make those plays, guys you want to maybe avoid or you feel you need to run at, and then there's guys you know you want to maybe try to exploit and put the pressure on them further. So design play there and some nice yardage gain by Noah Apple.
10 seconds on the play clock, now 7 as Apple stands in the gun with Reese Miller to his right. Apple steps up in the pocket. The pass is complete far side. Jack DeLuca. Jack DeLuca looking to go the distance. He's at the 20, the 10, cuts back towards the 5. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Very nice. 65, 75 yards it looks like. He did a nice job. He felt the pressure. He knew he was probably not going to outrun him, but he if he stayed straight, he knew if he kind of could get him on his get his weight off, bounce a little bit, twist and turn to break it free. So nice big score there for Jack DeLuca.
Jack DeLuca takes it to the house for Noah Apple. That's his 4th passing touchdown of the season and a season-long yardage-wise as well, as Tanner Minnick comes on to attempt his 2nd extra point of the night.
Yeah, it was a nice pattern. Obviously, they ran a deep out, a flag route, or something we might call ice in a combo situation, and the coverage completely broke down, and Jack was out there standing all by himself. Making the catch was the easy part, and then winning the sprint took a little bit more.
6:31 remaining in the first half. We're going to take a break, come back after this. Mechanicsburg 14, Lower Dauphin nothing, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth at Hershey Park Stadium, Mike Garland, Dave Harris, the Wildcats lead 14-0. As Noah Apple found Jack DeLuca for a 74-yard pitch and catch, a season-long for Noah Apple, and for that matter, a career-long touchdown pass, as Tanner Minnick's kickoff is going to be fielded by Chase Goddard. Goddard cuts back towards the middle of the field. He's across the 40 into Wildcat territory before he is corralled down by Dylan Taylor and Darius Crawford-George. So the second big play of the night. But, Dave, this one may come back as there's a flag at the 21-yard line behind the play.
Yeah, I didn't see the penalty. I'm assuming a hold, a block in the back, something like that. However, we had 3 guys converging on the ball. They've got to close that lane, and they've got to finish. I'm not sure this penalty is what led to the big play. We had guys who need to execute just a little bit better, and there's nothing worse, again, than that momentum you just got with that big scoring play, giving it right back to the other team, and that's the kind of hope. And I'll argue at 14-0 with halfway through the second quarter. That might be the only hope Lower Dauphin has, and you can't give them that life. Thank goodness there was a flag out there, or they're feeling pretty confident about themselves right now, Mike.
2 weeks in a row, 2 special teams breakdowns for the Mechanicsburg Wildcats. Last week, it was yielding a fake punt for first down against Mifflin County. Tonight, the big kickoff return, albeit negated by the penalty, but these are the things that start to show up on film when your opposing coaches are scouting you.
Well, it's also you're trying to figure out what you have. It's still only the first half of week 4, right? And you turn over a roster. I've said it before. You need 30 to 35 guys that can play varsity football. Depth, right, for injuries, depth for fatigue, and special teams. And sometimes you have some guys out there who aren't quite ready to be out there, or some guys who unfortunately have to fail to learn. And we've had a few of those opportunities. So hopefully they're learning and getting better.
Another flag on the play, and I believe this one was before the snap, waiting for the official call from Phil Salusti as to who it was against. That's the second encroachment penalty for Mechanicsburg tonight, so that's something they want to work on. You go back to week 2 against Palmyra. I know you weren't there, Dave, but at least a dozen penalties by the Wildcats, and other than special teams breakdowns, penalties will kill you.
Well, and that's another challenge. I don't know if you've talked to Coach Eckert about it. I know I have a little bit. That there's the curse of success. As you pointed out, we have won how many regular season weeks in a row,
16.
Right? Okay. You start to think you can overcome everything, beat everyone. You think you're a little smarter than you are. You think you're a little better than you are. And there's a reason you feel that way. You've had a lot of success, and you deserve to feel pretty good. But you got to go back to the basics. You got to go back to the fundamentals, and you got to be disciplined.
Hunter Strom with the carry. Landon Yale meets him near the line of scrimmage. No gain. maybe even lost a yard, 2nd down and 5 or a short 6.
Well, that's what's interesting about, the Cats. I know it's not been a dominant game, but they've controlled enough. That's a young man, number 9 there, who early on seemed like he was kind of going to break some through. And then he was out of series. We saw Cangelosi have a nice run. That time he did not even get out of his own tracks, and the Cats stacked him up pretty good. So you gotta, when you come to play the Cats defense, you're going to get punched in the mouth a few times.
Braden Heckard's pass complete to Connor Kreiser. Kreiser saved that possession the last time down the field for Lower Dauphin by recovering the fumble. This time hauls it in, and it's going to be just short of the line to gain, so 3rd down and about 1. Probably not 4-down territory for the Falcons. So if they're not able to get this 1st down here, unless they can make it close, you may see the punting unit. But one play at a time, 2 wide receivers to the left for Braden Heckard.
If you're Lower Dauphin, you got to get this 1st down on this play. That's what you got to do it.
Single back in the backfield. And they are stood up at the line of scrimmage. Landon Yale, Dylan Taylor meet the running back in the backfield. Coming out of that pile for the Falcons, Hunter Strom carrying the rock. And Strom, again, leading rusher on the team, came in with 49 carries, 316 yards, 6 touchdowns, 105 yards per game. And I'll tell you what, I speculated they may try to punt, but they're down 14-0, 4th and 1, and the offense comes back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, you can't give it back to the Cats with 4 minutes left. And the Cats are getting the ball after halftime. So, again, I said it last play, you got to get the half. Stay on sides, though.
3 backs in the backfield, bullying the way forward. And it is going to be close. I think the Falcons got the 1st down.
Barely, but they did.
You hand it to Strom, and he has 2 fullbacks leading the way. I mean, those are odds that Vegas would take any day.
Yeah, the Cats are thinking not to give up anything big, be disciplined, stay outside. They probably held back a little bit, worried about the hard count, worried about jumping off sides. You don't want to give it to them. Again, now if you're the Cats, you've got 2 timeouts left. You want to pay attention to what you do here on 1st down. Still 4 minutes, but you want to see if you can keep them down here and maybe force them into a punting situation.
Each team with 2 timeouts for that matter. In motion is Tyler Newman, and Newman takes the pop pass pitch. And Drake Dawson meets him in the backfield for a loss on the play.
Yeah, flipped him over to the right-hand side, and, boy, he came upfield nicely. And, again, as I said, when the Cats tried to run this with Jack DeLuca, that's just a long way to go to try to get upfield, and especially if you're facing defensive ends like Mechanicsburg has, you don't really stand much of a chance. And you're not going to block Drake Dawson with one man. You're going to have to double-team him and make up your mind what you want to do instead of just trying to run around him.
His 5th tackle for loss this season. Matteo Tegliosi in the backfield. Heckard throwing off his back foot, lobs forward, intercepted.
Yep, saw that coming.
Jack DeLuca with the pick.
Yep. Yeah, you can't. It is a passing down, but you gotta start slow. You can't just go out there and float one up there, and I'm not knocking the quarterback here. It's your scheme. You've got to go with some play action. Get a tight end curled up. Run a flood pass. Get a back in the flat. You can't just float that up there. There's athletes back there. Jack DeLuca's one we've talked about. We know he's been banged up a little bit last year. They tried not to put him out there every single play, but we've seen it tonight on the touch and pass. Now we've seen it on the interception. He's an outstanding athlete, and you don't hear enough about him because he's kind of an unsung hero, but, boy, he gets it done.
We've talked about it before. I think Lower Dauphin is on the verge of being in a position like an Army or a Navy or a Georgia Tech back in the day where you're a primary run team, and then when you have to pass, all of a sudden, what do you do?
Yeah. I mean, this number 4, Heckard, he looks like a decent quarterback, but you can't just
Apple deep, intended for. Yeah. That was Ryan Foose and a little bit overthrown.
I mean, he seems like he's got decent footwork. He seems like he can get, he can get his shoulders set. But it's some of it's scheme too. It's not just throwing the ball to a spot. You've got to, as a coaching staff, you've got to create opportunities for your kids to be successful. It's just not mano-a-mano, which is what you can do when you get Eli Ryder and Josh Smith, right? But most teams don't have that, and so you do have to play within the confines of a scheme. Because if you just throw it up there, it comes back to who's got the better athletes. And I think we know tonight who that is.
It is 2nd down and 10, 3 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the first half. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Another busted play. Noah Apple pulls it down, keeps for himself, turns the corner, and out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. That's the second busted play that resulted in plus yardage, and that's some kind of luck.
Are you sure of that, Mike? Because I think he's done it. Well, again, sometimes you run that count. It's almost like a counter the other way because they've got it blocked pretty well on the play side. And the fact that they've done it twice, you know what I mean by counter, usually you run that with a tailback who takes a jab step one way and then goes the other way. And I didn't watch the lineman enough to see if anybody was pulling, but they sealed that off quite nicely.
And I'm making my assumption based on the way I see Apple react, but maybe it's a play that they've programmed into the offense and they're fooling me all the same. First down and 10. Apple tucks it. Met at the line of scrimmage. He's going to be brought down by Michael Duggan. The Wildcat Foundation thanks all sponsors, donors, golfers, and community partners for helping support their 16th annual golf outing held in August at the Carlisle Barracks just a little over a month ago. Thanks to the outstanding support of the district community and the leadership of event coordinator Jen Shockey, the event raised more than $30,000 in support of the foundation's work. Next up will be the annual appeal coming this fall, followed by the Wildcat Foundation Night on February 20th of 2026. Second down and 10. Apple's pass, complete. Jack DeLuca trying to split a wall of blockers, cuts back towards the middle of the field, and that wall of blockers became a group hug, and as such, it's going to be a holding penalty against the Wildcats.
Well, I think it was out at the point of attack. We had two receivers out there on the D-back, and that's the way you have to make that bubble screen or any of those swing passes actually successful, is you got to get that first block, and they had two guys on it. And so anytime, again, from that side, I couldn't see what the official saw. Obviously he saw someone's hand get on the outside, someone's hand get on the back, jersey grabbed, and picked up that hole. But I think it was on the outside, not so much on the inside.
A great crowd turnout tonight for Lower Dauphin. You can't see them because they are on the bottom of your screen and out of the picture. And a respectable turnout for Wildcat fans as well, including a nice student section who have made the trip here tonight. Hey, you get a free ride at Chocolate World and a tiny little candy bar at the end. Apple's slant pass complete to Ryan Foose, and Ryan Foose is planted in the turf by Nick Hangst, and it's going to bring up a third down and about 14.
Well, that's a little bit of an inside screen, and again, it's predicated on that first block, and we just missed the first block. I think that was, I think it was J.J. Gould, number 5, not positive. And again, you just got called for a hold on the other side, so you're very much aware, I got to be careful. And that's really more about positioning your feet rather than it is actually the body contact. And, that was played well by Hengst, number 24.
And the Wildcats would love to double dip as Reese Miller takes the handoff and tries to spin forward. He does so for 3 yards. And when I say double dip, they will get the ball to start the second half. If you remember, they won the toss, they deferred, kicked off to Lower Dauphin. So as the Wildcats call a timeout, they have an opportunity if they can move the chains.
Timeout Lower Dauphin.
Timeout Lower Dauphin, because they want to get the ball back and try to make something happen.
Which I don't disagree with them. I think it is the right call for them, because the reality is, regardless of what the score is now, what you can and can't do, you are down 14-0. And Cats get the ball back. So stop the clock and say, hey, maybe they'll have we're not going to punt, but maybe they will get a sack. Maybe they'll get a scoop and score. Maybe they'll get a pick six is what LD's thinking. Like, let's extend the game. That's what this timeout's about. One more play is one more opportunity. Cats certainly weren't going to be able to run out the clock, but they could have run it down quite a bit, whereas now they're going to snap it at 1:17, and if they don't get a 13-yard first down, Lower Dauphin is going to get the ball back with more than a minute left and a timeout on the clock.
The Wildcats come back to the line of scrimmage following that Falcon timeout, and coming up at halftime, we are going to check in with our friends at Operation Wildcat. We're talking Project Furniture this week. Next week, Project Boo, as we get closer to spooky season. And another whistle, this time a timeout again by Lower Dauphin. Is that a thing you can do back-to-back at the high school level?
Well, the Cats brought two linemen out here, right? So they brought 56 and 54, which is, of course, Stair and Dwyer out here, set something up probably to run a screen and down the field. And, you've got to go ahead. Yeah, you've got to go ahead and use that timeout there, because clearly they weren't ready for it.
We got distracted for a moment. We've been seeing giant balls of flames coming from the bleachers on the far side, but we've come to the conclusion that nothing is on fire, nor has anything blown up. But I believe Halloween Horror Nights either have started or will be starting soon, so I think they're probably testing something right now.
Not a deep fryer, you don't think, Mike?
It looks like what I've seen when people drop turkeys in one.
Well, yeah, you got to be careful. Definitely got to be careful. You got to know what you're doing there.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Well,
but
I know some people who do.
But I'm good. All 10 digits.
That's good.
Yeah. So 4th down and 13.
So the good news, if you're the Cats, now Lower Dauphin very well may get the ball back, but they don't have a timeout. So at a minimum in gamesmanship, check, a little bit of a check there. Took their timeout away.
Apple steps up in the pocket, scrambling right, lobs deep, pass incomplete, intended for Drake Dawson, and on the coverage for the Falcons was Nick Hengst. Dawson had to come back to that one as the pass was a little bit underthrown, and Hengst was draped on his back. So a turnover on downs, first down and 10 for the Falcons with 1:10 remaining in the half.
Yeah, Hengst has had a nice first half. Seems like he's been in on quite a few plays, some big plays, and getting the job done. And he's had a couple nice things that prevented big plays from him. That, I think Dawson had a chance to catch that ball, get a first down. I think on that inside screen over here that he blew up, again, another chance to, instead of being at 4th and 13, maybe he would have been at 4th and 6 or 7, which changes your playbook. So here we go with 1:10 to go. No timeouts for Lower Dauphin.
Braden Heckert in the shotgun. He has 2 wide receivers to his right, 1 to the left, and a single back in the backfield. 2-step drop. That pass intended for Cohen Pollock. It was going to be caught near the line of scrimmage, but it was just a little high.
Yeah, again, that's the wide side of the field to opposite the quarterback's arm. So truly got to have your feet set. You got to spin that ball. You got to throw it on a point, or a lot of bad things can happen. And that ball was up in the air, potentially could have been picked. Again, for a team that does not want to throw the ball by their statistical measure, or at least has not had to throw the ball, that's a tough play to make routinely for them.
Second down and 10. 3 wide receivers now to the left of Heckert. Quick hitter on the near side completed to Pollock, and Pollock gains 6, maybe 7 on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and short, but with no timeouts. The offense has to hurry to the line of scrimmage, but we have an injured Wildcat, which will stop play. We don't have a number yet on that player, so we won't speculate. Now we see that it's Anthony Francis. Francis was injured during the scrimmage against Cedar Crest, hurt a shoulder, and I can't tell what he is favoring right now, but regardless of the ailment, he is in an unhappy position.
Well, this gives Lower Dauphin a little bit of time. They picked up some nice yardage here. Now they're at a 3rd and manageable. 52 seconds. So again, the clock stops. Now it probably will start once the ball's set and ready for play, but it lets them kind of get a free time out here on the field and talk strategy a little bit. Maybe here's a case again where if you're smart, you call 2 plays. You say, okay, if we get this, it's 1st and 10, and we're going to come with this. If we don't get it, it's 4th and 3, and we're going to come get this. But either way, we're going to line up on the ball after this play. Let's get 2 for 1 here, and now all of a sudden you might be at 40 seconds, and you have a first down. Or you could be well inside Mechanicsburg territory.
Anthony Francis being helped off the field by athletic trainer Sandy Zettelmoyer. Sandy always with the fashion there with the sunglasses on the backside so you can see him coming and going.
Or he can see us coming and
Something
going.
like that. A talented young man is one Dr. Sandy Zettelmoyer. 3rd down and 2. Heckert dropping back, now scrambling, rolling to his right as Drake Dawson gives chase.
And he's inbound, so the clock's going to run there.
A tackle by James
And he's short
Ruff.
of the first down. So, again, did they call 2 or they line him back up? He's got to get rid of that ball, knowing that either he's got to get the first down or he's got to get rid of the ball. Either one stops the clock. That just took off another 20 seconds easily.
So it is 4th down and about 2.
He's been elusive. The Cats have had him in the backfield multiple times, but just cannot finish the play. He's doing a nice job extending, and now they're content to run it out here, it looks like.
And the Cats are going to go to the locker room, by the way, with a couple of timeouts in their pocket as they do snap the ball as the clock hits 0. And
it should be 1 second.
Gave Collins
they should have 1 on the clock.
Just
They're not
enough time to pick up a sack.
There should be 1 on the clock, and the Cats should have 1 play.
Stair gets the sack to wrap up the quarter, and Mechanicsburg will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. So we're going to step out, hear from our friends at Operation Wildcat. Mechanicsburg 14, Lower Dauphin nothing. Back in a bit, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Are you on the hunt for a new home? Maybe you're a growing family looking to expand your living situation, or you find your current space too large and you're simply looking to downsize. Whatever your needs, contact Charity Kastner, Realtor with RSR Realtors today. Charity knows the local real estate market and she will find the right home for you. Charity Kastner isn't just a Mechanicsburg-based realtor, she's a Mechanicsburg mom. And after all, mother knows best. Just ask her kids. Make the move today by calling Charity Kastner at 717-557-9312 or rsrrealtors.com to find your first or next home sweet home.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
With True Green, we got a great price on a golf course quality lawn,
which attracted golfers.
Morning.
Who needs a warm-up?
And because True Green's doing the work, we get to have more fun.
Please don't post that.
Too late.
They don't have grass this thick in Australia.
That's what happens when you have a great lawn.
Shanked it again, huh? They're fun to have around.
PGA Tour quality lawns for as little as $1 a day.
Where are we playing next?
Get started at TrueGreen.com.
A deck where memories are made, barbecues are grilled, and sunsets are savored. But let's face it, not all decks are created equal. Enter Westshire Decks. We're not your average deck builders. Precision is our mantra. We don't just build decks, we craft outdoor living spaces tailored to your dreams. With Westshire Decks, you get seasoned experts who know decks inside and out. So why settle for a deck that's just okay when you can have one that's extraordinary? Westshire Decks, where craftsmanship meets creativity. Give us a call today and come see how we are different.
The Wildcat Foundation is Mechanicsburg Area School District's education foundation. Established in 1998, the foundation raises and distributes funds that support students in education, wellness, cultural awareness, and athletics. The Wildcat Foundation has also awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to support students' higher education. Learn more and donate today at wildcatfoundation.org. Wolf Brewing Company, located in Legacy Park, just off South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, offers a family and pet-friendly atmosphere for community members of all ages. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company serves up delectable dishes including comfort foods with a gourmet twist, plus drinks of all types for the community, from the community. Roll in before, during, or after the game for their laid-back ambiance, live music, trivia, and more. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park Drive, Suite 400, or online at wolfbrewingco.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Good evening, Wildcat fans. Thank you for tuning in live on Go Mechanicsburg. It is halftime presented by our friends at Operation Wildcat. We'll get you back to the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth in just a bit. In the meanwhile, we want to check in with our friends at Operation Wildcat. And at this time, we are checking in with Caleb Dissinger, and we are talking project furniture. Caleb, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Mike. Thank you.
Awesome. So we're here to talk about project furniture, and furniture is something that is in everybody's house in one form or another. But what exactly is project furniture?
So project furniture is one of numerous projects with Operation Wildcat that clearly relies on the community to donate furniture for needy families.
And we're talking items of all sizes, from the office chair that I'm sitting in to potentially like a couch or a bed or a dresser, right?
Exactly. We take all types of furniture for the most part. There are some things that we have on our website that we don't take. But when you think of the primary needs for a family, beds, couches, tables, generally of most sizes, not the larger ones, chairs, side tables, lamps, you name it. It really kind of runs the gamut. For when you think of the types of things that everyone needs in their home, that's what we take.
Okay, so I think about how I drive a Toyota Corolla, and if I wanted to donate something to Operation Wildcat, it's not fitting in my car. So if you're somebody in the community and you want to donate a furniture item to Operation Wildcat, how does that happen? How do you guys help make that possible?
So we have a dedicated team just with Project Furniture that once somebody is looking to donate something, they will go through the website. Maureen Ross is our project lead, and her email address and my email address is on the website. You can reach out to us, and a couple of things we ask for. First, we ask for exactly what is being offered. We ask for photographs because we want to make sure primarily that the objects being offered are in good condition. And that's really kind of key, is to make sure, there's no stains, it's not needing major repairs, that kind of thing. Because we basically want to take these materials, store them in the warehouse for a certain amount of time before they go out to a family in need. So we are not capable of doing massive amounts of repairs or cleaning things. And that's why we ask that, everything is in pretty good condition. So we ask for the photograph. And then at that point, Maureen or I will reach out to our team that are part of Project Furniture. And usually it's an email, and we say, okay, here's what's being offered, here's where it's at, and who's available. And we all kind of tag team in and say, okay, I'm available this day or that day, and we all, and if there's 2 or 3 of us that are available, we kind of get together and say, all right, let's rock and roll. We coordinate with the family that's donating, and when we make it happen, we have a truck that's stationed at the warehouse, and we'll take that over to the family that's donating and pick it right up. We do ask that things are downstairs or in a garage or positioned outside. Since COVID, we really don't go into houses anymore. But we can come to you and get it out of your hair.
Okay, and I mean, that's a great way to say you guys really do vet the items that are coming in. Yeah. So if you are somebody in the community looking to donate, I think the safe bet is take a step back and think about why you are getting rid of the item. Are you getting rid of the item because you no longer need it and you think it can be repurposed? If so, Operation Wildcat is probably your best bet. If you're getting rid of the item because you think it's trash, then Operation Wildcat is not the path you'd like to take. In a perfect world, items would go out of one house and into another, but we understand that's not always the way it works. So when that item makes it to the warehouse and you're a family in need, obviously you connect with your school's guidance counselor, and they are the path to Operation Wildcat and your team. Totally anonymous. You just know that, hey, this person needs this item, that kind of thing. Same deal though, like truck can get item from warehouse to family in need?
Exactly. Yep. And it's exact same kind of deal. Is we'll reach out to the team and say, okay, who's available? Here's where we're going, and here's the furniture we're taking. And sometimes it's one or two pieces. Sometimes it's literally been an entire house full of materials of furniture that we've dropped off. And when we're lucky, it's when we know we have a need, a request from a guidance counselor, and we put out that request to the community. Sometimes we get lucky that we can pick something up and literally drop it off at the family in need at the same time.
That would be awesome. And Caleb, I talked to a lot of wonderful ladies who chair projects with Operation Wildcat. It is not often that I talk with a fellow like yourself who is involved. So what about Project Furniture or Operation Wildcat drew you to the cause?
Well, that's a great question. It has been since our daughter, probably in kindergarten or very early on in elementary school. I don't know if it was at a parent, kind of like a school meeting or a school awareness, or there was an email, and I just reached out and said, you know what, I'd like to be involved, and been doing it ever since. And our daughter is now a senior this year, so it's been quite a number of years.
Very, very cool. And look, I mean, I think Caleb did a great job summarizing what Project Furniture is all about. If you are watching this right now and you look around your house and you feel like you've got some items to get rid of, reach out to Caleb at Operation Wildcat. And if you're a family and you look around your house and you think, we really could use X, Y, or Z, if you're comfortable, reach out direct. But if you need to go to your school's guidance counselor, do that, because Caleb and his crew are there to help you out. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I would just like to add that, this has been a great experience. It really is wonderful to see Mechanicsburg community think about families that are in the community that are in need, and we get to witness it every day when we're working with Operation Wildcat.
Thanks a lot, Caleb. Always great to hear about what's going on with Operation Wildcat, including Project Furniture this time around. Before we get you back to the stadium and the second half of tonight's game, I want to remind you of a few things regarding Operation Wildcat, and that is that homecoming is right around the corner. Still a couple of Project Glam open houses, including this Sunday the 14th and next Sunday the 21st between 1 and 3 p.m. Also, keep that 1 to 3 p.m. window in mind when considering donating items to the warehouse, 507 North York Street in Mechanicsburg. Operation Wildcat staff there on Saturdays and Sundays between that 1 to 3 p.m. time window. Please only drop off items while they are there. If you do so otherwise, it is frowned upon. If you are into spooky season, like our Project Boo chair, Charity Kastner is, well, there is a Project Boo open house coming up on October 1st at the Kindergarten Academy between 4:30 and 6:30. It's open to all district students, so please consider stopping in there. The Fall Yard Sale coming up October 24th and 25th at McBick. It is Operation Wildcat's big fundraiser, lots of great items. There's so much going on with Operation Wildcat this time of year. Learn more at operationwildcat.org. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it will be the second half of tonight's game, Mechanicsburg and Lower Dauphin, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Hey there, Wildcat fans. It's Mike Garland, voice of Wildcat Athletics. And that map you're looking at and those little blue pins, they represent the central Pennsylvania locations of our broadcast partners. From our presenting sponsor, 11 Oaks Farms, to the south and west in Newville, to one of our newest partners, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming on South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, and everywhere in between, these are community-oriented businesses and their dollars are supporting Wildcat Athletics. So in turn, fans, I
ask you to support them. Pick up the phone and price their services. Shop in their store locations. Tell them you heard about it during a broadcast of Wildcat Athletics. Go to mbgsd.org or download the new district app and navigate to the Athletics tab to learn more about each one of these great Central Pennsylvania businesses. We thank them for their support and encourage you to support them as well.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab, or drop by your office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center. Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
The Wildcat Foundation is Mechanicsburg Area School District's education foundation. Established in 1998, the foundation raises and distributes funds that support students in education, wellness, cultural awareness, and athletics. The Wildcat Foundation has also awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to support students' higher education. Learn more and donate today at wildcatfoundation.org.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Welcome back to Hershey Park Stadium. Mike Garland, Dave Harris. You are looking at least the top half of the Kissing Tower. The ride itself was there a moment ago, but it's done, dropped below the tree line. Historic Hershey Park Arena, where Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in a basketball game so many years ago. And here at the stadium, Dave, where the Philadelphia Eagles used to have training camp, John Madden played football here at this very facility. And tonight, the Mechanicsburg Wildcats making Mr. Madden proud with a bullish 14-0 lead over the Lower Dauphin Falcons.
Yeah, I did see on one of the back walls here where there are a number. Yeah, right behind you, Mike, there's a poster of the Eagles playing a game here in 1964, Labor Day Saturday. It looks like against the Vikings. Guessing that was a preseason game. Preseason was 6 weeks long back then, the games. So I think that's when that game was played here. So yes, they've actually put on the cleats and the helmet here.
You were at that one, weren't you?
Close, not quite.
Lower Dauphin will kick off to start the third quarter. Handling the kickoff duties will be Connor Kreiser. Kreiser with a reception and a fumble recovery in the first half as well. And that kickoff fielded near the 5-yard line. J.J. Gould for the Mechanicsburg Wildcats. And it's Kreiser that pops Gould near the 32. And he's credited for the tackle, but it was more like the collision knocked him over. Regardless, first down and 10 for the Cats following a nice return from J.J. Gould.
Yeah, really nice return. He broke out of the pack, and really it was, I think there were two guys left, but one of them laid him out pretty good. And so nice return. But again, if you're Lower Dauphin, you dodged a bullet there a little bit, it looks like, too.
Reminds me of that time that I tackled former NFL player Kenny Watson in a high school all-star game. It wasn't so much of a tackle. We ran into each other, and I was fortunate that he fell down. 11 minutes, 52 seconds remaining, early quarter number 3. Noah Apple in the shotgun. Fakes the pitch to Dylan Taylor and keeps for a gain of 1, maybe 2.
So again, we're at this situation where there's not a lot that Lower Dauphin's doing that scares you if you're Mechanicsburg, but you do have this ball coming out, and you really would like to go get that third score, just like we talked last week. I think that third score makes you feel pretty comfortable because right now, again, you're one bad hop, one slip tackle, one something for making this a game, and I do think Lower Dauphin has enough in them to make it interesting if we can't take the will away from them. And this is what you got to do here with this third quarter to start to take that will away from them.
Apple looks to his left. The pass was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Deflecting it was Matteo Cangelosi, and it's going to be 3rd down and 9.
So, yeah, so they come right out, and if you're Lower Dauphin, you're like, let's go out, let's get a stop, let's get the ball back, let's see what we can do. And they're following the recipe right now. got the Cats at 3rd and 9, and this again would seemingly be, if they don't get close to the sticks, if they don't get within 3-4 yards, this would be a punting situation, I'm pretty sure.
Drake Dawson split to the right of Noah Apple. Reese Miller, the single back in the backfield. Apple steps up in the pocket, and that pass may have been deflected as well near the line of scrimmage. Intended receiver for the Cats, J.J. Gould, and it looks like we will see the punting unit on the field for the first time today for the Wildcats.
Yeah, it may have been deflected. I didn't see that, but it looked to me like Noah thought he was coming clean over the middle and threw it there, and he would have been open, and Gould seemed like he was about to bend it back out towards the sideline. And I don't know, again, if he was reacting to the tip pass that you're talking about, or they just were on two different pages.
Chase Goddard appears to be the deep man for the Lower Dauphin Falcons, standing on his own 32-yard line. Noah Apple, a wobbler, hits at the 40, takes a Mechanicsburg bounce, and rolls inside the 30 to the 29. And that right there is what you usually talk about, Dave, with regards to the way J.J. Gould fields punts, because maybe you don't get a return when you field it, but you don't lose yardage by not fielding.
That's correct. It's a big difference. Sometimes it's 6-7 yards it starts with. Now, Noah did not get a boomer off there by any stretch. That was a low liner, but it was end over end, and as you said, it took that Mechanicsburg roll. And, yeah, sometimes it's just about fielding it cleanly and kind of stopping it where it's at and setting you up a little bit better shape.
First down and 10 for the Falcons. Hunter Strom, the single back in the backfield. Braden Heckert in the pistol formation. And Strom takes that handoff. Met near the line of scrimmage by Dylan Taylor et al. Talon Verdelli as well.
Yeah, so Cats came out a little flat on offense, clearly. And, LD, hopefully they, for their sake, they got a little momentum from that defensive stop. And now if you're the Cats, again, you don't want to give them any more momentum. So it's a good start there, but you want to keep them pinned in here inside the 35 and put them right back in a punting situation if you can.
A receiver to either side of Heckert. Heckert running the option, and Drake Dawson introduced him to a third option. That is tackle for loss. Dawson's third TFL on the night.
Yeah, it was run almost, I'll say, unlike a read option, almost like a true option or a triple option, the back up and in, and then the quarterback. And in that typical situation, the end does have the quarterback with the secondary, the outside linebacker or the cornerback having the pitch man. So Drake kind of just playing the back through the quarterback and was right there to make that play.
Following today's game, we'll recognize our 11 Oaks Farms player of the game. It's been Reese Miller a couple of times. It's been Noah Apple. Who shall it be tonight? Heckert rolling right, pressured out of the pocket, and the pass is incomplete. 9:36 remaining. The clock stops on that incompletion.
Yeah, so again, we're early here in the third quarter. A lot of time to go here, a lot of opportunity, but Lower Dauphin. The Cats get the ball. They wanted the ball to start the second half and really kind of come out. I'm going to say flat and don't get much with it. A decent punt, good, and Lower Dauphin doesn't take advantage of that situation, so they're ready to give it right back to the Cats. And this is again where you could see a big play, a punt block, a big punt return.
Cohen Pollock booms it away. J.J. Gould will field clean at the 29-yard line. Gould tries to split a couple of tacklers, and he is pushed backwards to the 31. Tackle made by Caden Brassell. First down and 10 for the Cats. Fall sports season is here, Wildcat fans, and Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming is cheering on our hometown teams. While athletes hit the field, let your dog be the MVP at home. Call Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming today, 717-919-6266, or stop by 16 South Market Street in Mechanicsburg. Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, where every pet looks like a champion. And if you're wondering, they are near the Revolutionary Hot Sauce place. They are not a broadcast partner of ours, the Revolutionary Hot Sauce, but I've been there a couple of times. Tasty eats, a lot of good places to chew on food around town. And, of course, they'll point you down the way of Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming as Reese Miller carries on first down and 10. Tackle made by Logan Andrews.
So, again, coming out, I certainly wouldn't say conservative because the Cats do like to run the ball. They've got those options. They're not a throw-first kind of team, have not had it be yet. But at the same token, Lower Dauphin has with the exception of whether they're those broken run plays by Noah or whether they were, some sort of misdirection planned play, we've not gotten to the second level much tonight. The front end of the Lower Dauphin defense has been pretty stout and held up well against our line, and so we have found ourselves behind the sticks, if you will, behind the down and distance where you'd like to be on second and third down much of the evening.
Quarterback keeper Noah Apple, he tries to split his front line, gains 3, maybe 4 yards on the play, met just past the line of scrimmage. Big number 77, Hunter Stoke, makes contact, and Apple goes to the turf.
Yeah, I start to like to see what we can do here. Obviously, it's only 14-0. I mean, you can't just start flinging the ball around. You can't get reckless. You don't want to do things that put Lower Dauphin back in the game that they didn't earn. But I got to believe we're not hoping to be 4-0 without the desire to play, again, well into November. And so we're going to have to become a strong two-dimensional team if we want to win a couple playoff games, should that be in the cards to get there.
Noah Apple looking to run a screen. The intended receiver, Reese Miller, not really in the area, so he throws it on the ground near his feet. And that's a smart play by Noah Apple. If you don't have it, throw it in the carpet.
A very smart play, but that was anticipated by Lower Dauphin. And I'm generally quite complimentary of the coaching staff for Mechanicsburg in the timing with which, screens don't work just any time. You've got to catch the other team off guard, and it comes when they've got their ears pinned back and they're coming hard after you. That's often when you can set it up, or where you're gouging them. We've not had much success. Again, the last 2 series, with the exception of Noah picking up a couple yards last series, we're barely picking up yardage on it, and so the screen just not necessarily the right play call. Lower Dauphin was sitting on it, leads to that punt, and we've turned the field over again here for the second time.
These two teams have exchanged punts here in the third quarter. Chase Goddard hauls it in, and the Wildcat Foundation would like to welcome students, teachers, and district families back to school here for the 2025-2026 school year. The foundation has awarded more than $87,000 in grant funds to more than 20 district programs for this school year, as well as $43,000 in scholarship funds to seniors for the class of 2025 as they start their college journey. Support and donations from the district community make this funding possible. Learn more at wildcatfoundation.org. First down and 10 for the Lower Dauphin Falcons. Heckard one-step drop. That pass is completed to Tyler Newman, and Newman with his biggest reception of the night, a gain of 7. Second down and short for the Lower Dauphin Falcons.
So, a couple things there. First of all, I was just getting ready to say before the play went off, Cats are letting them hang around, and that scares you just a little bit. This is not a bad team. I don't think they're going to put up a lot of points, obviously, on us, or maybe not anybody for that matter that of equal comparison. They're not a high-powered offense, but you let them hang around, and you might pay the price.
And a flag on the play. Motion, or a false start, I should say, is going to be the call against Lower Dauphin. So that's going to back them up 5. That could prove to be a costly penalty.
Yeah, the previous play, I liked it. That was a nice play. We talked about Heckard earlier in the first half trying to throw to his left, but the wide side of the field. That's a long pass. The ball got kind of tipped and almost got picked off. Here, they're on the near hash. They come to the left-hand side. He's able to stand in there and put a little bit more zip on it, and that was a nice play, nice pass, and receiver was able to get upfield for a decent gain, and unfortunate penalty negates a good chunk of that.
2nd and 4 becomes 2nd and 9. Braden Heckard takes the low shotgun snap. Heckard across the 50, and he's pushed out of bounds. Tackle made by Ryan Foose, but Dave, I think this one's coming back as well, as there's a flag on the field near the 34-yard line.
Yeah, he threw that pretty quickly. That must have been pretty flagrant right in the middle there. Quarterback's doing a nice job running with his eyes, finding opportunities and taking advantage of them. And that's back to, I know you've had 2 back-to-back penalties if you're Lower Dauphin, but they've also had 2 positive plays that were a part of that. And so you got to look at those micro situations and feel that the third quarter here, there's been a little more success. You can argue that play doesn't spring without the hold, probably, I guess. But the Cats have got to, I don't know if they got a lot of energy out there or what. It's hard to tell in this stadium. It's not the kind of place that reverberates the way Memorial Field does, so it's hard to get a feel. But we seem a little bit flat. We're going to have to start to step it up here, or Lower Dauphin's going to sneak in here on us.
It was 2nd and 4, now 2nd and 19, and another flag. And again, will this go against the Lower Dauphin Falcons? These officials, their arms are getting sore. That's going to be encroachment on the Wildcats. So they give 5 back.
It was pretty obvious because we had a flag on both sides. I mean, both side judges saw that.
It's nice to know they're in agreement.
Well, again, I'm back to some sloppiness here, right? We know it's a new season. We know we're in the midpoint of the new season, which is week 4. But we know what we lost and we know what we don't have. We got a lot of good stuff, but we got to take care of the small details again if we hope to have any replication of a Keystone Division title.
Heckard's pass complete on the near side. Tyler Newman, he picks up the yardage for the first down and then some, advancing into Wildcat territory before Jack DeLuca makes a touchdown-saving tackle.
Yeah, we got a young kid out here on the corner, and that's the first time you see that, and he lets him get behind him. Well thrown ball, and Newman again with another nice catch. So again, we're about to find ourselves in a dogfight here as we near the midway part of the third quarter. A game that really was struggling to see Lower Dauphin even get first downs in the first half.
Tyler Newman came into this game with 7 catches for 125 yards, averaging 41 yards per game, and he has been the go-to receiver for Braden Heckard so far. Now back to the running game for the Lower Dauphin Falcons as Mateo Kengalosi with the carry, and another penalty flag comes. This drive has been marred by penalties, most of which have gone against Lower Dauphin, but the Cats have sprinkled a few of their own in.
Well, these holds, and he's right on top of it. I don't know, somebody's doing something out there repeatedly. We're not hearing the number if they're announcing it, and it's okay if they aren't, but it's right in the middle, and it's been pretty quick every time.
This reminds me of a Mechanicsburg touchdown drive at Palmyra in week 2 where they went about 65 yards on the field, but the total yardage was about 87.
I was going to say this could end up being a 110-yard touchdown drive if Lower Dauphin would find a way to score.
I don't think those stats count. Do they?
Well, the positive yards count if it depends on the play, right? Depends where the penalty is and when it's called. So sometimes they do, yes.
All right. Well, it's a running play on
because the point.
First down and long, and it's first down and then some as Hunter Strom takes it inside the 10.
Because what I'm saying, Mike, is every time you go back 15, you've got to gain that 15. You don't get the yardage on the penalty necessarily, but you got to then get 15 more yards than you had to get before. And so
that counts.
Yes. So now we've had a couple nice runs here, and that was the third. That was Strom there again, right?
It was Strom, yes.
Yeah.
Mechanicsburg's given up 2 rushing touchdowns this year. The only 2 touchdowns Mechanicsburg has yielded. One against Carlisle early, one against Palmyra late. 3 backs in the backfield as Heckard is under center. And Strom takes the handoff, met at the line of scrimmage, rolls over Ryan Foose and into the end zone for a Lower Dauphin touchdown.
Yeah, as we said, they had 2 holding penalties that moved them back 10 yards, so they earned 20 more yards than they would have to score that touchdown. If you're the Cats, you got you let a golden opportunity get away, and it's not that. I mean, obviously the defense did not look good that series, but the offense did not look good the previous 2. And this is a team that it's not a slouch. Again, I would say they've got a little more going for them offensively than what we saw with Mifflin County, and maybe are similar defensively to Mifflin County. So at least based on what we saw. So this is a real deal now.
First touchdown the Wildcat defense has yielded in 6+ quarters, and Lower Dauphin earned this one. The extra point forthcoming off the foot of Connor Kreiser. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it may take out a window of a bus. That thing is good on our line, and with 5:12 remaining in the third quarter, it's Mechanicsburg 14, Lower Dauphin 7, and the Falcon fans are coming to life. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
OSS Health is physician-owned and operated. We're able to help patients in a way that others cannot.
We're not looking at a number.
Everyone's looking out for the best thing for the patient.
Seeing that they're reaching their goals, making the community as healthy as possible.
What I love most is when I get to see them get back to the activity that they love.
When I see a patient smiling, it makes it all worth it. I love my job.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Hershey Park Stadium, Mike Garland, Dave Harris hanging out in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Lower Dauphin on the board for the first time tonight. And it's now 14-7 as Connor Kreiser, who scored the extra point, kicks it off, taken by the Cats, and J.J. Gould near the 10. Gould across the 50. Gould across the 40, the 30, the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Wildcats! J.J. Gould takes it to the house.
That sucks the life right out of you. You know, we've talked about it on the Mechanicsburg side. It's so nice to be on the other side of it and get the return. Nice, clean play. He ran right up in there last time and only had the one man to beat, and he got him this time. He got an even cleaner look. I'm not sure. They're not pinching the lanes very well for Lower Dauphin either the last two, and took advantage of it there.
I will tell you what, Dave, that kickoff return for touchdown is 3+ weeks in the making. We have been seeing it from J.J. Gould since week 1 at Carlisle, and he finally breaks one. It's now 20-7 with the extra point pending from Tanner Minnick. Noah Apple, the holder, the snap, the hold, the kick. It gets over. 21-7 the score. We're going to take a quick break. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
At Bobby Ray Hall, it's about doing the right thing, starting with our vision that clients deserve great service at a fair price. We understand this can only happen with great team members. Doing what's right includes supporting local charities, youth sports, and first responders. It extends to the environment and why we reclaim rainwater for car washes and recycle used oil. We want to thank our loyal clients for recognizing us by voting Bobby Ray Hall simply the best of Harrisburg for 21 years in a row. Experience the Bobby Ray Hall difference and find out more at BobbyRayHall.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Following a near 90-yard kickoff return for J.J. Gould, the Cats answer the Lower Dauphin touchdown in the blink of an eye. It's 21-7 Mechanicsburg as the Wildcats get ready to tee it up, kick it off. It's going to be Lucas Mikulich, who honestly has been kicking off all night long. I just gave Tanner Minnick credit for at least 3 of these so far. So Mikulich connects high end over end, and it's going to be fielded near the 9-yard line. Going wide with it is Chase Goddard, and Goddard is gobbled up near the 21-yard line. Gobbled up like he was a tasty Hershey's candy.
Tell you what, that was a great coverage play because they lost momentum after half, gave up the big touchdown, so it was all Lower Dolphins to be had, and the Cats take it right back, and now they cover. I think that was Verdelli on a nice tackle there, coming down through, and now we'll see if we can finally see. They haven't been bad until the last series, but let's see that other Mechanicsburg defense show up finally and maybe get a few of those big plays, some of those tackles for losses and maybe some turnovers. I know we did have an interception earlier tonight, of course.
First down and 10 for the Falcons. The ball on their own 21-yard line. Braden Heckert in the shotgun. Handing it off. Given to Hunter Strom. And Strom is tackled by Drew Freeland. Not sure we've said his name yet tonight, but we did there.
Yeah, we had a little trouble with contain there on the right side defensive end. He got a little bit upfield, taken upfield just a little bit, and he's got to kind of hold his ground there, take on that block, even if he has to create a pile, and let his linebackers clean that up instead of trying to do too much and then creating a more gaping hole that leads to that bigger gain.
3 wide receivers to the right for Braden Heckert, 1 to the left, and Strom, the single back in the backfield. Low shotgun snap, tipped near the line of scrimmage by Drake Dawson, but the pass falls into the hands of Cohen Pollock, and the chains are going to move. So Pollock kept focus, corralled it, advanced forward to about the 40-yard line, first down and 10 for Lower Dauphin.
Yeah, it was, almost got to the quarterback. It was a quick hitter, so they probably had some guys that they were leaving unblocked. He got rid of the ball. It almost got tipped. Then from there, the defense kind of closed it quickly. But he made a lot of things happen and broke free. Now he's down on the sideline with he's too close to the field of play with a cramp. They're not going to let them move until they get him up.
So with the injury, we'll take this opportunity to remind you that the Mechanicsburg Music Alliance, along with U.S. Bands, invite you to be part of the 27th annual Music in the Park event. It's a showcase of both high school and college bands at Memorial Park on Saturday, September 27th. It is $12 for adults, $8 for students, plus active military, veterans, and seniors. Kids 4 and under are free. This is the only home competition for the Maroon Machine. Tickets are available online via that QR code on your screen and at the door. And, oh, by the way, the Maroon Machine has its first competition tomorrow at Hempfield High School, so good luck to them. Following the injury, play will resume, 1st down and 10, and hey, look at that. It's a flag. Seen those before a few times tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's looking at here. Maybe he's trying to get the number. Is he counting the guys? He hasn't made the call. So they have 12 on the field.
Now, we know Bishop McDevitt played a team from Canada earlier this year where you do play with 12.
Yep, 12 on the field.
That does not work tonight as Noah Apple heads off, and that free 5 yards will make it a 1st down and 5. You know, we're in Hershey, Dave. I've made some pretty horrible Hershey's candy jokes. Do you have a favorite Hershey's candy?
Well, I don't know that it's made by Hershey's, but I know when you go into the park, if you're a Twizzler, you can go on certain rides, and I like Twizzlers.
Yeah, I think it is. They've picked up a few brands along the way. So Twizzlers is a Hershey brand, as Hunter Strom carries on 1st down and 5, a gain of about 3. Some pushing and shoving will draw a late flag, and it'll be interesting to see who draws the whistle there, because it was Danny Kurtz doing battle with Chase Goddard. They both went to the carpet, and that whistle came quick.
Well, the reaction from the players on the field is I get the feeling that it may be on LD, but, this is one they could also call offsetting.
And heading to the sideline, holding his right elbow, is Connor Kreiser.
Yeah, that's one. If you didn't see it, you saw something. If you didn't see how it began and you only saw how it ended, you probably do call offsetting. You got to be pretty clear to call it one way or the other, and it's hard to say without watching a replay there.
So I know you didn't ask, but my favorite candy.
Oh,
and it's
was I supposed to do that, Mike?
I mean, that's common
sorry.
courtesy. It's okay.
It's common courtesy.
Well, I just volunteered some information about myself. We'll fill in the blanks here in just a moment. Following the penalty or the offsetting, it's Hunter Strom on the carry, and he's very close to the line to gain. So, again, I know you didn't ask, but I like the little pumpkins that come out, and now Christmas trees as well that they do. But it's weird because I don't like peanut butter cups, but the pumpkins and the trees are essentially holiday-themed peanut butter cups.
That changes your attitude.
Right. It's the presentation that sells it for me.
There you go.
And they come in white chocolate. The only thing, I've got a lot of gripes in life, but the only thing is I wish they could sell me a chocolate pumpkin and a white chocolate pumpkin in the same wrapper. Pass complete on the near side. Cohen Pollock. And
he's got the ball. Oh, we got the ball. Ripped it out, but they're going to blow him dead based on.
James Roth came out of that battle with the football. I mean, that's good defensive fight on Roth's part. He made a tackle earlier, but they're going to say forward momentum. It stopped.
Yeah, it was close.
In fact, enough for a 1st down as well.
It was close. I'm not sure, but it was close. That's one, again, I think coach is going to go back and look on and wonder. But if they blew the whistle or put up the hand or anything like that, then you know that that's what it was. I'm not sure that was the case, though.
1st down and 10. Heckert in the gun. 2:40 remaining, quarter number 3. Heckert running the option. Pitch right to Strom, and another flag flies in as Strom bounces outside before being brought down past the line to gain by Drew Freeland.
Yeah, so you've got that option there, and again, they come down hard on the quarterback, but the back does get the pitch and works his way through. I think they had him at the second level, but let him through.
And that penalty, per the cheers from the Lower Dauphin Falcons, goes against the Mechanicsburg Wildcats.
No, it was waved off.
Well, that too. I was thinking declined when he did the thing, but...
Yeah, it just means there was no penalty is what he's saying. At the end of the day, though, if it was a penalty on them, they got the result of the play. It's a pretty big game. Not good for Mechanicsburg either way.
A J.J. Gould kickoff return looming large as all of a sudden the Lower Dauphin offense has found its groove, rushing here in the second half. And the passing game as well has come to life. Another running play.
This
time
on the end there. Yeah, they're going to get that one. He held DeLuca very easily. The White Hat saw that.
Matteo Cangelosi with the carry and the flag, as Dave said.
He's going to come over and give the coach an earful. He's like, back off. Yeah, the guy, coach in the black hat here is complaining about the call, and it's a totally different official and a very blatant out in the open hold. What I will say, if you're the Cats, right, you can't take everything away, and we have struggled to stop the running game. But again, the tendencies the first 3 weeks for Lower Dauphin is not to throw the ball once they're really inside definitely inside the red zone. And so, you can kind of sneak up your D-backs a little bit, and probably should, but you also got to keep your eye on your reads to make sure you're not letting a tight end, like what we saw with Drake Dawson for Mechanicsburg here in the first half, sneak behind you. But you got to start to take a little something away, and certainly we're seeing Heckard as a threat running at us in addition to whoever they have in at the tailback spot.
Logan Lutz on the wing on the right side of the Lower Dauphin offense as Heckard steps back to pass. It is complete in the middle of the field. Cohen Pollock. And Pollock comes very close to the line to gain. He either just got it or he's just short, and he just got it as the chains will move.
Yeah, and they were probably victim of what I was just talking about, even what I was suggesting if I were kind of working there. Kind of maybe sneaking your backers up a little bit, and unfortunately number 11, Pollock got behind the linebackers there who were a little late dropping into the zone.
This would be a great opportunity for a turnover. The Wildcat defense to come up big. And the handoff to Cagliolosi, and he is pushed back at the line of scrimmage. Dylan Taylor also in on the stop, Jimmy Dwyer. Second down and 10.
All right, so the Cats show up on first down. Again, that line has not been as dominant. And by dominant, I'm not saying they haven't played well, but they really seem to have controlled the game in other games, and they have not as much tonight. And it's allowed Lower Dauphin to get a little bit of life and make some things happen.
Heckard to the gun. Fakes the option, keeps. And he is going to be slung to the turf by Drew Freeland, but a gain of 7.
And that's where it hurts. I think they probably were giving someone a blow, maybe Dawson, and when they're giving him a blow, you got somebody there a little less familiar. We've not seen a lot of option this year, and he bit on the fake, and, if you're the end, you got to stay on the quarterback. You can't worry about the pitch man.
3 men in the backfield one more time, and that Hunter Strom blast is going to be close to a first down as the third quarter comes to an end. So Lower Dauphin has an opportunity to figure out what they want to do next as the fourth quarter is just moments away. 21-7 Mechanicsburg leads. Lower Dauphin threatening again, though. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management is a proud supporter of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When faced with tough business and personal financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. With a focus on retirement planning and complex financial situations, the team helps you define and achieve your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you and your family. Financial advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225 today.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. It was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Mary Ann at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Back live quick as the fourth quarter is about to begin, and Lower Dauphin quick to the line of scrimmage. They want to pop this one in and give themselves as much time as possible here in the fourth quarter to tie, if not overtake the Wildcats. Heckert, hands off. And that is Matteo Cagliolosi, who gets close to the goal line. It's going to be second down and goal from probably inside the 1 or at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, nice pinch there by the defense. They tighten that up and they don't give a lot of surge up. I'm sure they got somebody over the nose and pinching in the gaps, just trying to clog that up and then bring the second level in to clean it up.
Logan Andrews acting as an extra fullback as well. Heckard under center. Heckard to Cagliolosi, and he's into the end zone. Mechanicsburg, for the first time this year, has given up 2 scores in a game. And, Dave, we've got ourselves a ball game again.
Well, we do. And Lower Dauphin, if I'm not mistaken, last week found themselves in not a great spot in the second half and ended up coming back with quite a second half and a nice big win over Northern. So they've been here before.
As recently as last week. So they have a blueprint for what they're doing here. And, you know, Mechanicsburg isn't or hasn't been the team that they are without overcoming some adversities. And this is a time to strap it up, to buckle in and battle hard. Extra point forthcoming. Snap, the hold, the kick is blocked. It is blocked. Drake Dawson gets a hand on it at the goal line. And that could be a big block.
Well, it looms large. I mean, it does leave an 8-point deficit, which we'll see what that means, or if that means anything a little later on. But it is certainly adds a little bit to the calculus here later on this evening.
Wildcat Athletics would like to recognize the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department for their continued support of our web streams. With the Recreation Department in the district, you can immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From creative crafts, dance, to fitness opportunities and family fun, they offer something for everyone. Don't miss out on fantastic experiences that inspire, enrich, and bring the community together. Visit mbgsd.org, click on the Recreation tab, or drop by their office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center. Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure. And if you stop by the Trails and Trees Environmental Center, Ryan Hartman will engage in a special craft with you. He says maybe, but I think if you put him on the spot, you're going to knit a small blanket or something.
So both teams have had 2 touchdown drives. The Cats have had 1 big kick return. So now we're going to see something, yes.
Little lob kick, little pooch kick. The ball is loose, and Lower Dauphin has it.
So a lineman backed up, a lineman dropped back and tried to fair catch it. You never back up to catch it. You get out of the way. And obviously, when you're wearing a number that is a lineman number, generally a coach does not want you fielding the ball in most circumstances.
That was Vance Woolery.
I don't think it was, but I wasn't going to mention any names, Mike, because
the uncertainty. And if I'm incorrect, I take it back.
Yep. Well, I think he was trying to do what he thought was the right thing, and he fair catch signal. He tried to make a good, honest play. It's just not usually how you draw it up and how you want it to happen. You want that front line to go block, and you need that second group to come up and field the ball.
So it's 1st and 10 for Lower Dauphin. The inside handoff is going to surge forward for a gain of 3 or 4. And we have an injured Wildcat as Drake Dawson slow to get up, but he is back on his feet. There's a downed Falcon as well. And carrying the ball that time for Lower Dauphin was Hunter Strom. And I guess back to my gaffe there a little bit earlier, for the same reason that you don't guess on who the injured player is, the risk reward is
well, it's high school football, Mike. It's high school football. We're not here. We're going to talk about what we see, but we're not going to drill a kid because he made a mistake. It's a big play in the game, and we're going to talk about it. And it's going to drive Coach Eckert nuts. There's no doubt. But we're going to leave that what it is, and now we're going to have to move on, right? We got to play some defense, and we've been flat. I talked about letting them hang around, and it's it really hasn't been fluke plays. Lower Dauphin has physically, if you will, and workmanlike push themselves back into this game to the point where the Cats are in a situation they're not often in, and a lot of these guys haven't been on the field for those 16 weeks of wins, maybe the last 3 or 4, but not previously. And so, we're going to learn a lot about ourselves here over the next 11 minutes and 2 seconds.
Well, the injured Lower Dauphin player was Chris Armenta, number 74, and he is helped to the sideline. Second down and 6. Cats leading by 8. Braden Heckert in the gun. Hunter Strom takes the handoff, met at the line of scrimmage, and his feet are picked up off the turf as he is put down, and a flag flies in.
Wonder what this could be from over there. They ran it into the middle of the pile. They wrapped him up, lifted him up, had multiple guys making a tackle. It looked like a great defensive play. I can't imagine he'd have called a hold out there.
Personal foul, a face mask call against the Wildcats.
When it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours.
I believe the phrase is unlucky. So that's going to be a first down for Lower Dauphin as well. And just outside the 20-yard line, so Lower Dauphin couldn't hope to be in better position right now.
Well, I like how the Cats are handling themselves, right? They're not arguing, they're not fighting amongst themselves, but they now have to step up and just make some plays.
The ball spotted at the 22. Heckard hands off. Colin Stair meets Strom in the backfield. And this is an opportunity for those leaders like Colin Stair, like Jimmy Dwyer, like Talon Verdelli, who is stepping up as a junior, to make the plays. Drake Dawson as well.
Yeah, they're in a situation here where they're going to get tested. And if you're Coach Heckard, obviously, you want, first and foremost, you want to win through any means possible. But you know what? They aren't all going to be easy, and especially again if we want to play past 10 games, they aren't going to be easy. And so you got to learn. You got to learn from these situations during the game as well. And now they're learning about, hey, it's time to step up, and we got to play like we can, and not expect the other team to be intimidated by us.
Strom takes the handoff into the second level, tripped up, still on his feet, down to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Hunter Strom.
Should, again, expect them to go for 2 here, which bodes well for them, the way they like to do things. Obviously, their favorite formation up tight down here is the straight T. 2 tight ends, 3 backs across, leaving all of their running options open to them. We'll see what we get here.
Well, the offense will stay on the field as Braden Heckard brings some instruction from the sideline to the huddle, and this is a big 2-point conversion play. 21-19. This is about as close as it's been for the Wildcats in really some time.
Yeah, big situation here. I mean, again, you're within a field goal right now. Still a lot of time left, and the Cats have not exactly done much offensively since early in the second quarter.
Heckard, pass incomplete. It rattled around and went off the hands of, I believe, Cohen Pollock in the end zone. And Pollock is slow to get up. Won't assume at the moment what the ailment is, but we will take a break. 9:41 remaining in the game. 21-19 Mechanicsburg. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Welcome back to the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth, Hershey Park Stadium, the sweetest place on earth. It doesn't smell like chocolate right now, but it does smell like a Lower Dauphin comeback. The Falcons trailed 21-7. It's now 21-19 as Cohen Pollock is helped off the field. He was the intended recipient of that 2-point conversion attempt, and it went off his fingertips and fell to the carpet here at the stadium.
Yeah, credit to the defense. I like the play call as a fan. I like the play call as a coach. I like the play call. We're going to kind of sucker everybody up in, and then we're going to sneak somebody out the backside and float it out to them. But and I didn't catch who it was, but actually there were 2 guys looked like they were over there on the play for Mechanicsburg, and that's a great play.
Another onside kick attempt, and the Cats need to just get away from it because it didn't go 10 yards. Although once it does roll 10 yards, it becomes a live ball. This one fielded by, I believe, the hands team. Coach Heckard had that hands team
ready
on the
to
front
go.
line. I looked down.
It was a little different
to see what that formation looked like, and yes, a whole different line of young men across the front.
You did have to expect the last time. I'm not sure I would have necessarily thought we needed the hands team in the last time, but you do have to expect some trickery, some shenanigans of some sort, because we broke one and we almost broke one. And so if I'm calling the kickoffs for the other team, I'm squibbing it, I'm doing something. I might be popping it up 20 yards downfield, but I am not kicking it to the deep guy, that's for sure. So we should have been expecting that and talk to our guys, and maybe they did, just didn't execute very well.
Well, this is a big offensive series for the Mechanicsburg Wildcats, and now a penalty flag thrown.
Center touched the ball, I think, and then took his hand off. You were a center, Mike, right?
I was. Most important guy on the field.
Yeah, well, is that something you're allowed to do?
I think it means once you touch it, the offense is set. And then when you take your hand off the ball.
So there, he's waving it off, I think, the white hat is.
Okay.
But I thought that's what he called, like he readied the ball for a snap and then took his hand off.
Now they're having a conversation, and I can appreciate even at the high school level, there's still a learning moment for the umpire to step up and explain what he saw and have that conversation. First down and 10. Reese Miller takes the handoff, and he is thrown back for a loss of 2.
Well, they went through the right side of that Mechanicsburg offensive line like a hot knife through butter. There were 2 blue shirts, and I don't know if it was a slant or the stunt was just to shoot the wide gaps, but they were right through, and we barely got a hat on them. So they're playing with some momentum still, even though they didn't get the 2-point conversion, and even though we recovered the onside kick with good field position, they're playing with a renewed energy and passion, and we gotta make sure we take it back away from them somehow.
Inside handoff to Reese Miller. He gains back the lost yardage, but not much further. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Mechanicsburg Wildcats, and this lower Dauphin defense has come to play here in the second half.
Yeah, they have, and I thought they were formidable in the first half, but I'm still feeling we're just sloppy up front tonight, and maybe all together as an offense, clearly. I don't mean to put it all on the line. Again, it's a group we don't talk enough about when they do well, and we probably talk too much about them when we think they're not doing well. But we're not controlling it like we did, and matter of fact, 2 plays ago, they blew through like something that we've rarely seen the last couple weeks.
Drake Dawson goes from the left side to the right. Design quarterback keeper Noah Apple working off a block from Reese Miller. There is a flag on the play, though, and fortunate for the Cats, they picked up the first down, but the flag is going to bring the play back. And the flag actually happened about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. So what could have been 1st and 10 now is going to be 3rd and about 20 or 21.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. Again, thinking 2 plays at a time here because there are not a lot of 3rd and 20 plays in the playbook. You can't really be thinking this is great screen category on certain nights with certain things, but we're not doing a lot of drop back offense and throwing the ball. So I don't love that. But you maybe want to think about trying to get yourself 8 to 12 yards and seeing what you want to do on 4th down then.
J.J. Gould on a wide receiver screen busts back into the middle of the field, and J.J. Gould picks up the penalty yardage +3. It's going to be 4th down and a long 7.
So we said get into the 8 to 12 yards gained, and that leaves you with 8 to 12 to go, and we're right on the inside of that. I like that. Yeah, an inside screen pass. We actually had a really nice one here, years ago. Jason Altieri, a great baseball player and a good football player at Mechanicsburg, 90 yards from our left to our right on a very similar kind of play. So I was at images of that as I saw that play set up. We didn't quite break it, though.
4th down and 7. Reese Miller to the left of Noah Apple. Apple in the gun. It is a quick kick, trying to pin the Falcons deep. They had no one back. It hits near the 10, rolls to the right, and out of bounds at the 8-yard line as Jack DeLuca is down in a heap at the 23-yard line. He's slow to get up, and he's back on his feet before the training staff can get to him, but he's certainly going to get some attention from Dr. Zettelmoyer and his crew when he gets to the sideline.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Again, I was watching the ball to see where it rolled out, and then I looked and he was on the ground. It's not the kind of thing where like he grabbed his knee, he's up and walking, so it's not like the turf monster got him, but I didn't see anybody. By the time I looked, I didn't see anybody in blue near him either.
Those turf monsters are horrendous.
They can be pretty bad. They ruined my whole career, Mike,
Turf monster or grass monster, what do you think's the worst?
Well, whatever the monsters were, they stopped me from being very good, so that's,
we need Bill Murray took care of those grass monsters back in the day.
Right.
1st down and 10 for the Falcons. The ball in their own 8-yard line. Braden Heckert in the gun. 2 Falcons shift from the left to the right. Single back in the backfield. That shotgun snap, and the handoff goes to Ethan Tanner. Tanner bouncing off one tackle, advances to the 12 before J.J. Gould makes the stop.
And this is where the Cats have to stay disciplined. They had him inside the 10, and a couple guys, I'll say, shot gaps, went for the big play and missed and lost the contain, and that's what allowed for the gain of about 6 yards and once he got to the outside. So you got to be disciplined. You got to stay home. You got to play through your guys. You can't go around your guys. You can't go underneath your guys. You got to go through them, or else you're going to be creating natural running lanes for them.
2nd and 5, and a nice tackle for loss as Ethan Tanner is gobbled up in the backfield by Talon Verdelli.
Verdelli has had a really nice night tonight. He's one who just seems like, whether it's because they're putting a focus on other players offensively, leaving him obviously in a position to make these plays, but he has made plays. He's made plays on special teams. He's had a big night, and this is a big play. This is a really big play. I don't think it's 4-down territory, even if it's 4th and 2 or 3. However, then hard count comes into play. Double, going on 2 comes into play. You don't even risk. Right now, you're outside of the 5-yard penalty given the first down. You want to keep them in a punting situation here if you can.
Big 3rd down for the Cats as Heckert rolls to his left. Lob pass is completed to Tyler Newman, who's had a couple of big catches today. That one doesn't go far, but it goes far enough, and the chains are going to move.
It was a good scheme. It was basically a one-receiver route, and they basically had man coverage with nobody underneath. He took a step to the post, which the corner turned his hips for the deep coverage, and then he broke it off for an outside, for a quick out or a short comeback, and nicely thrown ball there by the quarterback, Heckert.
So Heckert's in the gun. And for a team that is a run-first offense, their passing game has been on par tonight. Single back in the backfield. It is a handoff given to Strom. Strom goes right, comes back left, and he's tackled after a gain of 1. Drake Dawson on the stop, along with J.J. Gould.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning of the game, I thought the quarterback threw a nice ball, talked about his footwork a little bit and whatnot. It's just a matter of putting him in a position to be successful, and I think they have with some of these play calls here as of late. The Cats, on the other hand, just have not quite – they're on their heels a little bit because he's also been a bit of a running threat, and we know it's a running team, so they're not coming up field as hard as you would like to, because you've got other run responsibilities that are probably a higher priority.
Some personnel issues for Lower Dauphin, confusion with Adam Harvey and also Tyler Newman. So with that timeout, we'll step out as well. 4:52. It's a long minute, 4 minutes and 52 seconds right now for the Wildcats, leading 21-19. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
Back at the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth, Mike Garland, Dave Harris, 2nd down and 10 for the Lower Dauphin Falcons. The ball on their own 21-yard line, and the handoff is given to Hunter Strom, and a big tackle for loss by the Mechanicsburg Wildcats. Colin Stair in on the stop.
Well, the Cats defense has come to life on this drive, right? We pinned them down at the 8. We gave up a nice little gain on 1st down. Then they stuck for a while, gave up the pass. And now the first 2 run plays, and this is where you want to be. It's 3rd and 12. Now you can play your pass defense package, because it's not to say they're not going to run it, but you certainly can come a little harder as a pass rusher, get after the quarterback a little bit, and that's going to help you with your coverage package on the back end.
Tyler Newman at the bottom of your screen. He is the intended target of this Heckert pass, and Newman catches it at the 32-yard line, and he is going to move the chains again.
Well, they've run the deep out on both sides, and what's happening is they're not getting help underneath. And when you're in the last 4 minutes of the game, last half of the last quarter, you can't play your defense in passing situations like you did the rest of the night. So we had that 3rd and 7 over there. We have no help underneath. We got 3rd and 11 over here. We got no help underneath. You got to get some help in the flat zone, or you got your cornerback out there on an island, and you just can't do it.
Drew Freeland meets Strom in the backfield, and Jimmy Dwyer comes in to clean it up. a loss on the play, and these losses are all fine and good. It helps gobble up clock. Lower Dauphin still with 2 timeouts, but it doesn't matter if it's 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 12. If you're able to complete the pass for the first down, it's all for naught.
It's back to coaching philosophy, and obviously we've got a good team. I don't want to second-guess our defensive staff here, but you can't take everything away, right? So you get to that 3rd and 12, and you got to go, hey, they're quarterback's throwing some nice balls. They're running some nice routes. You got to get some help underneath on those routes.
Heckard rolling right, backside pressure, lobs it up, and that pass is incomplete. Tyler Newman was the intended receiver.
We are getting hosed over here. I don't know what that is unless he's saying somebody ran out of bounds there with that flag. But if he is calling that an interference call or a hold call, that ball was 12 yards out of bounds.
I thought the receiver, Tyler Newman, went out of bounds.
But usually you drop your hat, I believe. You don't throw a flag.
Well, and as long as he doesn't touch the ball, I mean,
there's a flag down.
Right.
So that's what I'm talking about. Why is there a flag down?
Now we'll have this conversation.
That's I'll tell you what, there's a lot of home cooking happening over here on this side.
Phil Salusti with the signal. He didn't throw the flag, but he made the signal.
Oh, yes, he did. Was he not? Who's the guy on the side? I'm sorry. There's another fellow with a similar name, but that's not relevant to me. The point is, you're downfield, the ball's 12 yards deep, and the receiver's running himself there. If there was contact, it seemed incidental.
Well, and the pass was uncatchable as well.
Well, they'll say that's not a rule, but the reality is you're allowed to make the judgment decision, I believe.
Strom, Jimmy Dwyer at the line of scrimmage, and there was some pushing and shoving with Talon Verdelli and one of the offensive linemen for Lower Dauphin, Zachary Cook, and both young men need to know to just walk away because you certainly can't afford that kind of penalty right now.
So 2-point game, thinking back to field goal, we saw the extra point, strong leg. Not a lot of height, not a lot of elevation. So I'm wondering, they're running the ball. They still have 2 timeouts, but we're at the 3-minute mark. They've got to probably get inside the 20 still to have even a field goal attempt.
Strom, the single back in the backfield. Heckard rolling right, under pressure. Steps up in the pocket. Drake Dawson can't pull him down. Heckard still on his feet. Jack DeLuca swipes at his feet, can't get it, and he's going to be run out of bounds by Darius Crawford-George. And an injured Wildcat trailing the play. That's Drake Dawson down near the 45.
Well, we had a nice blitz by Drew Freeland off the right-hand side, and he got there too, which is partly what flushed him out, but he just missed him.
Dawson tried to hop up and go to the sideline, then goes back down to draw the official's whistle, and it serves as a de facto timeout for the Wildcats as well. It gives, and for the Falcons for that matter.
Yeah, at this point, Coach Heckard's probably trying to save them in case they give up a score so they can have it for offense. On the other hand, you got to regroup your team here somehow. They had them in the backfield. 2 guys couldn't get them. That penalty, that's one I'm going to want to watch again. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm way off base and it was just a blatant hold, and that's deserved to be thrown. But it seems like they've gotten bailed out quite a bit over here tonight.
With the officials' timeout for an injury, an opportunity to recognize one of our great partners, including the Wildcat Foundation, as they thank their sponsors, donors, golfers, and community partners for helping support the 16th annual golf outing held August 8th at the Carlisle Barracks. Thanks to the outstanding support of the district community and the leadership of event coordinator Jen Shockey, the event raised more than $30,000 in support of the foundation's work. Next up, the annual appeal this fall, followed by Wildcat Foundation Night, February 20th of 2026. So, time is of an essence for both squads right now. 2:47 remaining. Lower Dauphin down by 2. It's first down and 10. They have the ball in plus territory at the Wildcat 37. Hunter Strom, the single back in the backfield. And Strom will take that handoff. Met at the line of scrimmage. Tackle on the play by Thomas Burns. That's a name we certainly haven't said much of this year at all, but he brought that pile down.
Yeah, no, he's a big boy. He was on the back there a little bit, but he helped bring it down. And so, again, I think they're forcing a timeout here. Or do we have an injury instead? What do we got? We got an injury.
Well, it's either an injury or a timeout. I mean, I see Sandy Zettelmoyer on the field far side, tending to a player near about the 43-yard line. It is a Lower Dauphin player as the Lower Dauphin training staff makes their way out. We'll take this opportunity, Dave, to step out real quick as well and recognize our good friends at True Green Lawn Care.
With True Green, we got a great price on a golf course quality lawn,
which attracted golfers.
Morning. Who needs a warm-up?
And because True Green's doing the work, we get to have more fun.
Please don't post that.
Too late.
they don't have grass this thick in Australia.
That's what happens when you have a great lawn.
Shanked it again, huh? They're fun to have around.
PGA Tour quality lawns for as little as $1 a day.
Where are we playing next?
Get started at TrueGreen.com.
A deck. Where memories are made, barbecues are grilled, and sunsets are savored. But let's face it, not all decks are created equal. Enter Westshire Decks. We're not your average deck builders. Precision is our mantra. We don't just build decks, we craft outdoor living spaces tailored to your dreams. With Westshire Decks, you get seasoned experts who know decks inside and out. So why settle for a deck that's just okay when you can have one that's extraordinary? Westshire Decks, where craftsmanship meets creativity. Give us a call today and come see how we are different.
Wolf Brewing Company, located in Legacy Park, just off South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, offers a family and pet-friendly atmosphere for community members of all ages. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company serves up delectable dishes including comfort foods with a gourmet twist, plus drinks of all types for the community, from the community. Roll in before, during, or after the game for their laid-back ambiance, live music, trivia, and more. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park Drive, Suite 400, or online at wolfbrewingco.com. Are you on the hunt for a new home? Maybe you're a growing family looking to expand your living situation, or you find your current space too large and you're simply looking to downsize. Whatever your needs, contact Charity Kastner, Realtor with RSR Realtors today. Charity knows the local real estate market and she will find the right home for you. Charity Kastner isn't just a Mechanicsburg-based realtor, she's a Mechanicsburg mom. And after all, mother knows best. Just ask her kids. Make the move today by calling Charity Kastner at 717-557-9312 or rsrrealtors.com to find your first or next home sweet home. Hey there, Wildcat fans. It's Mike Garland, voice of Wildcat Athletics. And that map you're looking at and those little blue pins, they represent the central Pennsylvania locations of our broadcast partners. From our presenting sponsor, 11 Oaks Farms, to the south and west in Newville, to one of our newest partners, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming on South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, and everywhere in between, these are community-oriented businesses and their dollars are supporting Wildcat Athletics. So in turn, fans, I ask you to support them. Pick up the phone and price their services. Shop in their store locations. Tell them you heard about it during a broadcast of Wildcat Athletics. Go to mbgsd.org or download the new district app and navigate to the Athletics tab to learn more about each one of these great central Pennsylvania businesses. We thank them for their support and encourage you to support them as well.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Hershey Park Stadium, Zachary Cook, one of the offensive linemen for the Lower Dauphin Falcons, was the injured player, and he was down for a prolonged period of time. But fortunate for Cook, he is up and off the field under some semblance of his own power. That may have taken the wind out of the sails of the Lower Dauphin Falcons just a bit, but regardless, an opportunity for them to regroup as well, as that running play to Hunter Strom is stopped near the line of scrimmage. Jack DeLuca and Colin Stair.
And no one's using timeouts. Now, we've had some injury timeouts, which I think help coaches strategize and players get some rest. It's rare you get to the last 2 minutes of a high school football game, and there's 5 timeouts on the scoreboard. But it's kind of a game of chicken here because obviously Mechanicsburg doesn't think a field goal is going to be in the cards for them, and they're just going to play their D, and they don't want to give them more time. Lower Dauphin similarly does not want to leave too much time on the clock for Mechanicsburg, even should they score.
Heckard rolling to his right. Pass complete. Again, Tyler Newman. I think everybody in the stadium knows he is the intended receiver. Newman, a junior. He's been matched up with Darius Crawford George, a sophomore. And right now, Braden Heckard has been taking advantage.
Yeah, I mean, you're down to 138. They need a field goal to win. And I do think they can attempt a field goal at some point. There was a strong enough leg. I just don't know. Again, we saw it go deep and hit the buses, right? So I think the key is will it get off the ground enough? And I think they probably will try it if they needed to once they got to about the 20.
Strom takes the handoff. Strom to the 21. Forward progress stopped there. Brought down by Jack DeLuca. It'd be a 38-yard attempt from right here, and that's a pretty lofty kick.
That's a long high school field goal.
At the high school football level.
But again, I think if you picture where the buses are, again, I know it didn't get more than about 15 feet off the ground, but we can't assume that that was his normal delivery style, right? So I think if you're Lower Dauphin, you certainly, A, want to score, or B, you'd really like to get it closer to inside the 10-yard line.
Fumble on the play. The ball is loose. Heckard picks it up. And Drake Dawson puts him down on the carpet. Now, it's ironic that we're talking about field goal lengths here, Dave, because the Mechanicsburg school record set in 2019 was against the Lower Dauphin Falcons at Memorial Park. Nick Morrison booted it through.
Yep, nice field goal there. Yeah, this can often be a tough place to kick, but the flags are hanging straight down tonight. That's pretty still evening, so it should be true for them to kick. Again, we saw a strong leg off of number 39 for Lower Dauphin, Connor Kreiser. Didn't see necessarily a lot of elevation there. You're still at about the 22-yard line, 22 and a half. They lost some yardage, 42 seconds. I think should leave low. I thought Lower Dauphin had 2 timeouts before this was called, so it should go down to 1. It's still showing 2 on the scoreboard. So if you're the Cats, you got to play tough up front and not give up, not let anybody sneak out behind you.
Well, the Lower Dauphin offense back on the field. 3rd down and 6.
They should only have 1 timeout. I hope that they get that squared away, or I hope the Whitehead has it marked right on his card.
Heavy backfield. Heckert handing off. And that is Kangalosi. And I think Lower Dauphin
did not yet.
They haven't called it. Are they going to let it run down to try to kick for the win? It's 4th and short. I mean, you got to do something right here. If you're going to call the timeout to try to win it, you got to call it soon.
Their fans are yelling at him. They want him to do something. He's probably letting it down. He's going to take the timeout. He's going to kick.
So the timeout has been called with 12 seconds left.
By Mechanicsburg, I think.
Now, Dave, we haven't had a nail-biter like this in quite some time, and what a tale of 2 halves, right?
Yeah.
14-0 became 14-7, 21-7 became 21-13, and then it became 21-19, and here we sit with 12 seconds to go. Lower Dauphin looking for its 2nd consecutive comeback victory in Mid-Penn Keystone play. And as upsets go amongst the pundits locally, this would certainly be an upset tonight.
Yeah. So I think just kind of jumping ahead here, Coach Heckard takes the timeout because it's still 4th down. So if they kick it and make it, he's going to leave himself 5-6 seconds on the clock is what he's thinking, right? Versus if you allow Lower Dauphin to run it down to 3 seconds or 5 seconds and take the timeout, that's the final play. If they make it, you lose. So he's giving himself. I don't think he's real worried that this is a high percentage field goal for them, but he's leaving the door open, and that's why he took that timeout with the 12 seconds.
The ball is at the 17. A kick from here is about a 31, 35,
35. Yeah, add about 7 to that. Should put that back out to the 24, 25. Add 10 to it. Should be about 34, 35. So that's a solid high school field goal. It's not a long high school field goal. 40, once you get outside of 40, that's a long high school field goal. So now LD's taking a timeout.
And it's interesting that they're trading timeouts. All they're doing is giving each other more time to talk about it.
But they should be out of timeouts. They took the one off of us. They didn't take the one off of them unless the 2 was wrong before.
Well, and go back to what was the key play on this drive, the supposed phantom pass interference penalty here on the near sideline.
That's this guy's opinion. A drive that started at the 8 has now taken them down there. So even though I think our defense has played with more spirit and played better here in the latter stages of the 4th quarter, they still we're in the midst of a 70-yard drive at this point.
Well, in the Wildcats special teams unit, they've returned a kickoff for a touchdown. They've blocked an extra point. And the extra point field goal team out. Kicking for Lower Dauphin will be Connor Kreiser. The holder is Tyler Newman. Each are counting to make sure they have enough players on the field. The ball is going to be spotted.
I think he's a little close to the line of scrimmage here, right? Is he only 3 yards behind that hash, and the ball's only 3 yards away? It's about 6 yards. Cats should be able to get a handle on this.
This will be about a 34-yard attempt. The snap, the hold, the kick. It's up. And it is good. From 34 yards out, Connor Kreiser nails it. And Lower Dauphin celebrates.
There we go.
But 7 seconds remain on the clock.
7 seconds left. Yeah, he did not get a whole lot more air underneath that one, but he had plenty of leg.
The Lower Dauphin fans feeling it, the Wildcat fans in shock. We've seen one kickoff return tonight, but I promise you they are not kicking it deep to J.J. Gould.
You're going to want to try to make a fair catch, right? No matter where it is on the field, so you have one play.
They'll put that hands team up on the front line. And look, give all the credit to Lower Dauphin. They came out of the locker room. They made the adjustments. There were some questionable calls by the officials, but Lower Dauphin ran the ball.
I don't love that at all, but I'm not. No, Lower Dauphin has won this football game. I'm not happy about that. Lower Dauphin, or at this point, they're winning this football game.
Right.
And if it stays that way, they have won it. They took it from us. They had every reason to quit at halftime. They had every reason to quit at the beginning of the third quarter. But the Cats really did not do much at all in the second half offensively. We had the kick return. I don't know that we had a lot of first downs, Mike. I mean, we didn't score offensively in the second half.
Absolutely not. So, yeah, they made the adjustments at halftime, and they came out and they did what they needed to do. So Connor Kreiser, who just kicked that 34-yard potential game winner, will tee it up. The Cats have two returners standing back at the 10. I'd be shocked if the ball actually made it that far. There's the squib. Fielded by the Cats and downed immediately. 1 second runs off the clock.
Because it doesn't start till it gets touched.
So maybe 2 plays at best, but likely 1 at this level.
Yeah, unless you're doing a 5-yard hit, quick out, and he gets out of bounds. You're either thinking something trickery, right? A hitch and pitch kind of thing, or a Hail Mary.
Now, we've seen a couple of hitch and pitches over the years, but Justin Bardo's at Gettysburg College, and I'm not sure what we have from a trickeration standpoint right now. Another timeout has been called by the Wildcats. Got to talk it over.
Yeah, no, I mean, hitch and pitch is generally, they've used it at the goal line with Bardo. We had a big play with that down at Northern down in 04 with a hitch and pitch at with about 75 yards to go. And took it down inside the 10, got the timeout, and went in to win the game. But at this point, they don't have 2 plays. They have really 1 play if it's going to go for yardage.
So 6 seconds on the clock. The Lower Dauphin fans on their feet. They've watched their Falcons battle back. Lower Dauphin looking to secure its 2nd win in a row, coming back last week against Northern. They've done the same tonight. Crosstown rival Hershey on their schedule next week. The Cats return home for a salute to service night against Gettysburg. And the Wildcat offense needs a huge pass play, the likes of which we haven't seen since the second quarter. Apple, Drake Dawson. They're going to throw it back. Apple one more time. The ball's loose. Noah needs to pick it up. Does so. You can't throw it forward again, Noah. It's got to go back. That might be a forward play. Drake Dawson, and there's the flag for the illegal forward pass, so that's going to be it. Lower Dauphin comes from behind and defeats the Mechanicsburg Wildcats 22-21. And for the first time since October 6th of 2023, the Mechanicsburg Wildcats drop a regular season game.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I tell you what, with a 16-team playoff, it's a long season. And Coach Eckerd's got a lot of things he can pull out of this and work with his team on. It's a team you could see again later on. At this point, that's puts Lower Dauphin at 2-2, but we were only in the middle of the pack of 5A points going into this week. Just some things to work on. And I think as a group that has seen a lot of success around them and then come out and had a couple easy weeks, it's real easy to think other teams are going to give you a 14-point lead before you get off the bus, and it's just not going to happen every week, and it's certainly not going to happen with good programs like Lower Dauphin. And so, they let themselves get a little bit out of the game in the first half, but they hung around and they came in and they played at a level that really took Mechanicsburg out of its game. Very few first downs and very few things to be excited about offensively in the second half.
The teams shake hands and they head to their respective huddles here momentarily. Lower Dauphin to celebrate, Mechanicsburg to regroup. You know, we started this 11 Oaks Farms Player of the Game thing last year and rattled off 11 consecutive victories. We haven't had to do one in a while following a Wildcat loss, but we're going to talk about it here in just a moment. When we come back, we will recognize that 11 Oaks Farms Player of the Game. Again, your final from Hershey, Lower Dauphin 22, Mechanicsburg 21. We'll be back in 60 seconds live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Hey there, Wildcat fans. It's Mike Garland, voice of Wildcat Athletics. And that map you're looking at and those little blue pins, they represent the central Pennsylvania locations of our broadcast partners. From our presenting sponsor, 11 Oaks Farms, to the south and west in Newville, to one of our newest partners, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming on South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, and everywhere in between, these are community-oriented businesses and their dollars are supporting Wildcat Athletics. So in turn, fans, I ask you to support them. Pick up the phone and price their services. Shop in their store locations. Tell them you heard about it during a broadcast of Wildcat Athletics. Go to mbgsd.org or download the new district app and navigate to the Athletics tab to learn more about each one of these great central Pennsylvania businesses. We thank them for their support and encourage you to support them as well.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
The Mechanicsburg Wildcats come together. Coach Heckert, a man of character, talking to these young men about overcoming adversity, about what tonight means, and how you just forget about it and you move on. This one's going to stick with them for a little bit, though, because this is a game, you know, it's not like Bishop McDevitt last year where at the end of the game you could sit back and say, you know what, they're a pretty darn good team, and then they win the state championship. You came out tonight and you were up at one point 21-7. And then Lower Dauphin battles back. So this one's going to hurt in a different way.
Well, it is. It absolutely is. But this is, again, as I've said other times, this is why you play high school sports, right? The Cats had every reason to coming in here to think that they could win and were going to win, and they played at times as if they should win. But it didn't play out that way, and that's why we want our kids involved in whether it's football or field hockey or soccer or pick your sport. Learn to deal with adversity. It gets them to learn. They have to learn lessons that we don't want to let them learn as parents, right? We don't want to see them suffer. We don't want them to be sad or unhappy. But that's exactly what interscholastic athletics does for us. Things just don't always go your way. Might be fair, it might be unfair. Doesn't matter. And, you know, Coach Heckert will help them very much learn how to make the most of this. It's not just X's and O's, it's character building too.
And you can see the Lower Dauphin Falcons cheerleaders, players, and fans celebrating. This is a huge win for them. We certainly don't want to take away from the hard work that the Wildcats put in. They had some outstanding performances tonight. You had Jack DeLuca, who had a big touchdown catch. You had Jack DeLuca with a big interception. You had J.J. Gould with a huge kickoff return. They were two sparks and two stars tonight. One of them is our 11 Oaks Farms Player of the Game. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, I think when you look at all-around play, I'd probably lean towards Jack DeLuca tonight. The interception and the of course, the touchdown catch, but also defensively seeing him up in there, stacked in the box. This was a physical football game. You know, we're a good distance up here from the field, Mike, and it's a physical game. When you look at the size of those running backs, number 7, number 9, number 11, as I was saying, there's a lot of things going on, and Jack DeLuca, his nose was in the middle of that quite a bit this evening.
Well, congratulations to Jack DeLuca, our 11 Oaks Farms Player of the Game here in Week 4. A tough loss to swallow. Lower Dauphin 22, Mechanicsburg 21. Connor Kreiser kicks a 34-yard game-winning field goal with 7 seconds left on the clock. Up next for Lower Dauphin, it is a short road trip to Hershey High School to take on the crosstown rival Hershey Trojans. For Mechanicsburg, a return to Memorial Park and John H. Frederick Field for the first of 3 in a row. Salute to service, always a great themed evening next Friday night against the Gettysburg Warriors. Dave, any final thoughts?
Yeah, no, just it was a good high school football game. It's hard. We get our fandom caught up in it. We wear our hearts on our sleeves. We bleed the maroon and steel, and it's hard not to be disappointed. But gosh almighty, a high school football game that comes down to a 92-yard scoring drive, if you will, finished off with a 35-yard field goal. You just don't see that too often for a one-point game, and unfortunately we're on the wrong side of it, but a lot of valiant efforts out there. Physically, the Cats left it on the field. You see some of them still sitting out there. I think those are some senior leaders trying to kind of pull together and make some sense of things and talk a little bit about how they're going to lead their team forward. And on the other hand, you got the band over here playing and fans celebrating, and it's what it's all about. Just wasn't our night.
A football weekend, college football tomorrow, NFL on Sunday, some big games all around. That's going to wrap it up for us here at Hershey Park Stadium. For Dave Harris, Mike Garland, Ben Shad, Ryan Hartman, Austin Bitts, the entire Go Mechanicsburg live stream crew, we thank you for tuning in. Again, the final, Lower Dauphin 22, Mechanicsburg 21. Have a good night, fans.
This has been a presentation of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics live on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. Wildcat Athletics live on YouTube is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group, Charity Kastner RSR Realtors, Your Neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Lawnscapes Inc., Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, Your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care, Westshire Decks servicing all of Central PA, the Wildcat Foundation, and Wolf Brewing Company. Additional thanks to the Mechanicsburg Area School District and to all the friends, family, and community members who tune in to watch the games. The Mechanicsburg Wildcats. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on Go Mechanicsburg Live and on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. We'll see you again next time.